So my beautiful girls and my handsome boys, welcome back again to your favorite channel, the one and only Vedic Astrology channel. Yes, my beautiful girl and my handsome boys, you are on the right road. You are on the right place. In this video, we will discuss that what will gonna happen to your life when Mars is placed in the different houses of your chart.
Guys, I would like to tell you before you move forward, you can directly take consultation from us. We have created a website now. It's so simple. You can go there, link in description and the comment section below. You can just click there and just click of a button, you can just simply purchase directly consultation from us as the instruction are given on the website, and then we will just help you out in the consultation. Okay guys, so for that, links are in comment section and description. You can purchase consultation also.
Now guys, first of all, let's see what does Mars represent. Okay, we will see that when Mars is placed in the different houses of your the chart, how it behave like for the different aspect like land, property, vehicle, energy, love life, married life, sexual things, or whatever, like as per the different placement we can see. Okay, what kind of things you will have. So first of all, what does Mars represent? Mars is also known as Mangal. Okay, Mangal is Mars. Okay, it is also referred to be as a red planet because of its reddish appearance from the earth. Okay guys, it is like a represented by fire, action, raw energy. Like Mars is like a fiery energy. Okay, it's like action. Okay, like this planet is also associated with your courage, your domination, your leadership. Okay, so they like even in leadership there's two categories. One leadership is like a Jupiterian leadership, which is like like a political influence, you can think something like that. But Mars leadership is like a military general, like you have the fighting spirit at the same time. He's just I hope you understand. So it is a hot and heated planet which mainly represent like the fiery energy, destructive kind of abilities, like your Mars is anger. Okay, strength. Okay, like we see police person, sportsman, and athlete, and all these kind of spirit from the Mars. And definitely your competitive nature. All these things can also be determined, or we can see by Mars. Okay. Also, guys, from Mars we can also see like the you can say your courage, your bravery, your heroic deeds, sports, property, your property, land. It can also represent your technical work, mechanical abilities. Okay, builders, designers, engineers, surgeons. Okay, surgeon, doctors, because they also do surgery, that's like blood, and mechanics, military soldier, police, war, journals, commander, rulers. Okay, we also, in a negative sense, we also see violence, fire happen, like somewhere is like accident, all these kind of things, cuts, burns, injuries. Okay, then we can also see your physical strength, your motivation, your desires. Okay, we see like the person who is like very lustful, sexual kind of a thing. We can also see that from the Mars. Yeah, with Venus, that's like Mars energy is also there. That's why you enjoy the sexual pleasures. Okay guys, and a lot of things, of course. Okay, maybe medical operations, passion for sex, all these things. Now guys, let's see what will gonna happen when Mars is placed in the first house of your chart. Okay, now guys, first of all, what does first house represent? First house is you yourself. First house is your head, your hair, your skull, your brain. Although fifth house is your brain, but still, like because it's your head, so we can also say in that sense it's you, right? It's your overall health, your immunity, your vitality, your overall well-being and success. Okay, it's you actually, your physical characteristics and personal, like who you are, how you are, like the everything about you is first of all the for like the first house. Okay, and like the behavior wise, how you are, your thinking, like kind of a thing, your power state, a lot of things we see like the starting and the beginning of effect from the first house. And first house is really important because it is not only the Kendra house but also like the Trikona house. So that's why it's everyone see that ascendant is important, first house is important because of this. Now guys, what will happen when planet like Mars is here in the first house? So guys, first house also decide your map of your whole life, right? Your appearance and a lot of things. So when Mars is placed in the first house, it suggests that you will have a highly energetic and a dynamic personality. Okay, you will going to be strong, like likely you will be a strong person. Okay. um, uh, it may also possible that you may have little bit independent nature, right? At the same time you could be a straightforward person also in nature. That can also be seen. This is, guys, a great position for Mars, okay, to reside in, irrespective of the fact that it might make you very aggressive also sometime. Okay, although it's really considered to be good position. So guys, irrespective of the negative, like for an example, if it's working in a very negative way, then maybe it can give you very aggressive nature also. Okay, and even if in the positive way the person can be aggressive, but then it can be aggressive in a positive sense. Okay, that's a different scene. The first house also rule over face and head. Okay, but actually we can say head, not like the face, because second house is your face actually, to be very honest with you. So there is a possibility of, we can say, scars on the cuts or the burn on the face. Like now it may not, it's not like that it always happen, but it can be if there is an affliction or something like that. Okay, so if let's say maybe these things can also be possible. Okay, and that can be, sometime as simple like you are just shaving and some cut is there, so that can also be seen, like if Mars is there in the first house. So now guys, even though it is also seen that when you have Mars in the first house, then you are more prone to get injured. Okay, or I can say you are prone to get injured, but your curative powers are really sound, and like they tend to heal quickly. Like you might get some cut and then you will comparatively to others, you will also get healed quickly. So that is a positive thing as well. Okay, now of course if you heard about the thing manglik dosha, or like the manglik thing, but actually it's not a dosha, we shouldn't call it a dosha, because if manglik is there, so in a nutshell we can say that the person has very energy, it's like a passionate person. So we say that if you are a manglik, then in simple word, if you marry the person who is manglik, then it's really a great idea. So Mars in the first house create you a manglik person. So it is recommended that if you choose a partner for you, then if that person will also be manglik, then it's really a great strategy. Okay, which means that for other person, if you have Mars in the first house, then you can marry the person who have Mars in the 12th, Mars in the 1st, Mars in the 4th, Mars in the 7th, Mars in the 8th. Now it's just a manglik placement I'm talking about. Okay, it doesn't mean that you just see this and get married, because for matchmaking we also have to see other thing as well. So it's just a one thing I just try to tell you. Okay, just for the clarification. Now guys, first house explore the key answers of the questions like who you are, what you will do, and what do you think, your physical body constructions, okay, body complex, overall appearance, right, spirituality, health, a lot of things. And also wherever the first lord goes in your chart, that play a very important role in person's life. Okay, so I will also create a video on first lord in different houses soon. Okay, now guys, when Mars is placed in the first house, you might see in like daring, or I can say hot-headed people with full of courage. Like you are a full of courage, hot-headed person with action, with passion, with ambition and physical strength, with fighting spirit, and they are like just ready to fight, like get ready to fight. And no, you don't even need to say, you just say like get ready, and they're like okay, let's go, and then like they're full of that energy. Okay, and they would like to do that without any hesitation. They are like okay man, let's go, I enjoy the fighting. So that kind of thing is seen. And when you see these kind of people that who are just always ready to fight, it means that these guys will definitely have some domination of Mars in their chart. Okay, that's like another thing you can see. So technically a good Mars in the first house make you a person who might be ambitious and daring. Okay, that's the good thing. It may also possible that you may have passion for work or any assignment that you involved with. Okay, the overall appearance will seems to be quite tough and serious. You don't believe in loose talks or fun at work concept. That may also possible. Okay, once idea pop up in your mind, you will simply follow the basic instinct, sometime in haste and without proper planning, due to which you may suffer some, I can say, like unintended consequences that can also be seen guys sometime. In the course of your action, you may suffer due to your impulsive nature. Actually, when it's like, you know, in negative way, you are like, oh, and I've just without seeing some time getting attack or like doing attack on someone. So like if it's in a negative way working, then you may become like too much, like just attacking unnecessarily and getting angry and just shouting, all these kind of thing. Okay. Although when Mars is placed in the first house, then you may love challenges. Okay. And I can say competitive environment or war-like situation. You are like, oh my god, this is my favorite place, let's go guys, fight. So that can be seen. Mars in the first house of your chart is actually a very powerful position. It may also possible, guys, that when Mars is placed in the first house of your chart, your reaction to new situation are quick. Okay. And you are vigorous, energetic, dynamic, enterprising. That can be seen. And sometimes you are very aggressive also. In fact, most of the time, not sometime, because Mars in the first house will give you aggression. Your excitement often leads to a lack of follow through, depending on the rest of the chart, of course. Some of you may be, I can say, careless or overconfident also sometime. Okay, but of course, for that full horoscope consultation is required. Okay, although your, I can say, vigor and endurance is often admired. Okay, guys. You must participate, lead and act independently. That can be seen. You dislike being directed and or weighted. That's the thing. Like when you have Mars in the first house, it is also seen that you become so much independent that you are like, oh my god, who the hell are you to give me command? I can do. I'm like my own boss. So sometime when Mars is sit in the first house, because you know, so it is also seen that it can incline a person toward doing something of their own. So if other things are also support, so they would like to incline toward business rather than doing job for others. Because in the job, if they are doing job and the boss or officer or something like that, like let's say they are in normal corporate job and their boss is commanding them. So even if they are doing now, so they are like, who the hell this man is to talk to me like that? Or like they may, like sometime I have seen even they are like just fight with the with the boss and then getting fired. So due to it, they are like, oh, I'm okay with my own business. So that can be seen. In fact, if other chart support for business and you have displacement, then it's really a great idea to do that. Like if, like I'm talking in terms of like when you are in normal life, when you are in fighting kind of a field, then of course it's like a different scenario. Then you have to be. When Mars is placed in the first house, so its fiery nature get amplified. Okay. Once you set your mind to anything, you are unstoppable. That kind of a nature it can give you. The name of the game is action, and you are prepared to take on any obstacle head on. Simply take care and not to step on anyone's toes. Okay, Mars in the first house suggests that you can initiate project if any idea occurs to you. Now guys, when you have Mars in the first house, then astrology indicate that you will attempt to remain active with a variety of various pursuits. As a result, you are constantly engaged in new or novel endeavors. Okay, when you have Mars in the first house, this definitely enable you to concentrate on your energy precisely when you want them to be, okay, in the thick of action. Now guys, when you have Mars in the first house, you want to be the group leader. Okay, not react to something someone else put together. Simply remember to use a straightforward nature sparingly and only when necessary. We can also see that when you have Mars and like for an example, when a quick choice must be made or when there is a situation that no one else can address, this is your prime time. Okay, now guys, Mars is known as the soldier planet. Okay guys, as it represents energy, action, fitness, selfishness, okay, aggression and competition. Mars in the first house give excellent result in the first house. It provide enough willpower to you to succeed in the business world. That's why I already said, because Mars in the first house not only give you passion for like doing business, at the same time it will also make you independent. So it's better for you to do something of your own, and it promotes self-employment. I already told you. Okay, it promotes self-employment. Person is like, why should I listen to this boss? I have to do something of my own. So that kind of a thing is there. This is a great position to have Mars if one is in real estate business also. Why? Because Mars by its fourth aspect, look at the fourth house when it's in the first house. Okay guys, and also the seventh house of course. So that is another aspect. Although for that horoscope consultation is required to see, the links are given, links are given in the description below. You guys, when you are a person with Mars in the first house, you will be energetic and enthusiastic from the childhood, okay, due to which as a child, or I can say in your youth, you will get a lot of injuries also, cuts also, and scratches, because see, Mars give you so much energy, you just like doing the jumping unnecessary this and that. And of course, when you were a child, you do not have that much thinking. You were like, okay, just do this and do that, all the bullshit and rubbish stuff, and then you have that cut and you have this cut. So like, you know, that can be happen, okay, or scratches, etc. You would be inclined towards the fitness and health of like building body and doing exercises. That can also be seen. You could be interested in hiking, playing volleyball, playing football, or playing any sport, or doing any exercise, okay. You will try to keep your body fit, beautiful and young when you have Mars in the first house. You could also be a fitness model or a trainer or an athlete, okay, depending upon how other planets are placed when you have this position. You will definitely be competitive and an aggressive person, okay, and you can also have a selfish behavior, okay. You would compare yourself with your family or friend in every aspect, and the feeling of competition and rivalry will drive you, okay, which could result in both good and bad sometime, okay, as per like the circumstances, we can say. Mars in the first house is a good placement for the native to be in business or in corporate world, okay guys. That can also be seen. I already told you all that, okay, as the feeling of competition is definitely there in you, okay, not wanting to lose, definitely and this feeling will drive you to do better in the business world. But of course, if Mars is in a malefic effect and all this kind of stuff, then things can be different. When Mars aspect the fourth house, but when Mars is in the first house, it also aspect the fourth house by its fourth aspect, because Mars has a special aspect. What are those? Fourth, seventh and eighth, okay. So Mars, by sitting in the first house, aspect the fourth house of land. It signifies the hidden lands or property, okay, related work for the native. Like you may be like working, let's say, in something, and then at the same time you are just helping someone in selling their property and then just earning by the commission of property, like the real estate agent kind of a thing or something like that. So that can also be seen sometime. You can also be a real estate developer or real estate dealer when you have this placement. When you know, Mars aspect the seventh house, it signifies or it represents the energy drain from the marriage, which signifies increase in sexual activities also, because Mars is like that, you know, the power, like, oh, I hope you understand that. Similarly, you know, Mars aspect the eighth house as well when it's in the first house. So Mars signifies sudden, you know, sometime, like, you know, maybe sudden sometime. If it's working very negatively, then sometimes sudden injuries or something like that can also be seen, okay. Now guys, if Mars in the first house, then you might be assertive, aggressive and a powerful person, okay. You are independent and you may have a, I can say, angry temperament kind of a, you know, angry kind of a temperament, I can say. There is a big temper and a possibility of recklessness also, okay. You are in a hurry and therefore sometime accident prone also. So like, you know, when you, I already told you that when you have Mars in the first house, you always, like, this is an advice, you have to be careful for like the injuries, etc. So you just, instead of running hurriedly, like, you know, you just hurry, let's go, and then boom, like you just have some injury. So you have to be careful for that, because Mars in the first house gives you so much passion and energy, okay. The constitution is strong, but the body may have, like, you know, injuries, etc., maybe scar or bone, physical. Now that can be so small and that can be so big, depending upon how this Mars is. If Mars is, of course, afflicted by malefics, then things can be different, okay. In a, you know, I hope you understand. For that, horoscope consultation is required, of course. Now of course, you can be a straightforward person or can be sometimes blunt also when you have Mars in the fourth house, depending upon how other planets are aspecting it. In the first house, you will be confident and assertive, and you act on your ideas and does not let opportunity pass by, okay, because you are so passionate about like working and these kind of thing, and competitive nature you will have. You succeed in life and usually get what you want, usually. Okay, you are a brave, courageous and adventurous person, and is a good I can say good person to have on one side, I can say, right? It may also make you a very powerful commander kind of a person, or we can also say in some sense leader. Okay, this is the ability with computer and technical field also, because as engineers, mechanical kind of a thing, accounting, law, etc., that can also be seen. But of course for them, other planet like Jupiter, Saturn, we also see them, and unlike many other things. For that, horoscope consultation is required. Links are given in the description. You may enjoy competition and you may also excel in sports, right? That can also be possible. You easily defeat your enemy and competitor. Okay, you will be attached to the military or police or firefighting kind of a job, that can be possible. You might be very sexual. Okay, that can be possible with this placement, and that's really good. It's okay to enjoy that as well. Now guys, like when Mars in the first house, I already told you that it can also represent the manglik dosha. So in India, the best remedy for this is to marry someone, like astrology say that the best remedy of this is to marry someone who also have the same affliction of Mars as that of you. That means if you have Mars in the first house, so the marrying to some person who has Mars in the first, Mars in the fourth, Mars in the seventh, Mars in the eighth, or Mars in the 12th house. So if you have Mars in the first house, so you can if and the other person chart is matching, then make sure that your other person Mars can be in first house, can be in fourth house, can be in seventh house, can be in eighth house, or can be in 12th house. Then you can marry that person, and then both of your doshas get cancelled with each other. That's the best remedy. In this case, neither person will be victimized, okay, the other, and the bad marriage karma is delayed, or I can say this, if you do that, then the negative karma get, I can say, vanished, you can say, because you also have this dosha and your wife will also have dosha, for an example. So you both get married, so the negativity get, you can understand that negativity fight each other and kill each other. So it is really a good then for your married life. Okay, the physical attraction for the two people with using the manglik dosha is not likely to be intense, but the compatibility in such a relationship is more favorable. But even it doesn't mean that it's not intense, because of course when you have this manglik dosha, then it will make you passionate about these things. So both are kind of sexual, but maybe it may possible that you might be more attracted towards the person who doesn't have this manglik dosha. But if you get married to the person who also have the manglik dosha, then the marriage is favorable for the longer period of time. In the Western world, the best strategy you can also see is that to delay marriage till maybe early 30s, or I can say late 20s. If let's say you find the person that let's say you are manglik and your partner is non-manglik, but still you would like to get married to you, and you are in Western countries where you can have multiple marriages and that's not a big deal. So then you can do this thing, is that you can just try to delay the marriage, you may get married maybe after 28 or maybe in early 30s. So that's really a good strategy, because at least till then you will have some I can say maturity to take your relationship for a longer time, or I can say for a long relationship. So this is the strategy. But of course, even if you are in Western world and you will find someone who also have manglik dosha and you also have manglik dosha, then it's really a great strategy to marry to that person. Of course, you should be lucky then. You are lucky then, I can say. So Mars in the first house, we can say, makes you or I can say make one stay active in their profession with various projects on their hand. You are likely to be physically strong and courageous. Your personality is characterized by a lot of energy and enthusiasm, and you will have a clear I can say path, or I can say you will just fight with full strength to achieve in career whatever you would like to. Okay, so guys, this is all about Mars in the first house. I hope this video helps you, and now we will discuss what will gonna happen when Mars is placed in the second house of your chart. What will gonna happen when Mars is placed in the second house of your chart? Yes, my beautiful girl and my handsome boy. So what does second house represent? First of all, second house relate to your wealth, your money, your assets, your family life, your domestic happiness, your knowledge, speech, right? Poets, orator, imagination, your face, right? Your mouth, your tongue, your vision, your dress, your education. Educators are also seen from this house. Okay, the food you eat. Okay, and like sometime, like we also see actually like it can be a throat as well, because it represents this part like that, due to which also we also see how you speak, my beautiful girl and my handsome boys. But of course, second house is also the house of finances, the dhan bhava. Okay, see, second house is like your locker where you save all your money. It's like your saving account. Okay guys, so actually second house is really important. Of course, all the houses are important, and second is also important. So guys, it's your assets, it's your possession. Also, second house represents what you value in your life. Let's say for an example, you are a spiritual teacher, you may value maybe Bhagavad Gita, maybe Bible or something like that. Let's say you are a person like me, so you may value having luxury watches, having luxurious perfumes like Tom Ford and maybe Creed Aventus, and lot of like the beautiful amazing perfume. Okay, maybe Paco Rabanne Invictus, my beautiful girls and my handsome boys. So it totally depends upon who you are, and like maybe having beautiful clothes, etc. So it totally depends which planet are there. So now what will gonna happen when Mars is placed here? Okay, so Mars here is very energetic and dynamic speaker. Yeah, Mars show that the person is very dynamic and energetic speaker. Why? Because Mars is placed in the second house. Okay, which show that how this person voices. And when you have planet like Venus here, then the voice is like such a beautiful voice. Like when you have Venus in the second house, so your speech can be so pleasant and people love to listen to you, and like it's beautiful actually. But when you have Mars, then you speak like in a very dynamic and energetic way. Okay, like you guys make the most dominative and authoritative speaker out there because of Mars in the second house. Okay, however guys, when you have Mars in the second house and let's say malefic planets are aspecting it in a negative way, and it's getting bad, like so then you may also become like vulgar or violent in your speech. That can be seen. Now see, Mars has a mentality of a soldier, so you would like to have a lot of control over your things as well, because of course soldier have discipline also. Okay, so also you have control over your things, your family and your possession also. That can also be seen because of Mars there. Okay, and in fact you love to control. That can also be seen. On the other hand, with you guys with Mars in the second house, money comes and goes. That can also be seen. You accumulate wealth through lots of exertion and risk, as like you earn well through investment sometime. Okay, that can also be seen. But see, because Mars make you like maybe careless also. That can also be seen by placing here. So you are equally impulsive in spending money also. So that's why we said that money comes and money also go. Why it go? Because you spend it carelessly. Guys, it is also seen then when you have Mars in the second house, you may always think about how to increase your wealth, how to increase your income. Okay, and you may also drive towards making money. In some cases, you may earn through difficult jobs. That can also be seen. In worst cases, if Mars is let's say malefically aspected and something like that, then like you guys may even cheat someone. I'm not saying that everyone, like in some cases, if let's say every negative planets are influencing this Mars, then you may find some cheaters like that who have this placement. But it doesn't mean that everyone with Mars in the second house can become cheater. No, of course, that's not the logic. And that's why full horoscope consultation is required to see the big picture. But generally, Mars in the second house will make you a person who may be like thinking about the money, etc. Right? In general, if we would like to say something, then I can say that it's a good placement to make money, because it gives you that passion towards making money. That's why you put efforts right there. In fact, I would like to add that if you have Mars in the second house, then it might make you a person who is willing to do whatever it takes, right, to make money. And even like you might be ambitious person, you would like to put a lot of hard work to make money. You might be assertive in communication as well. Okay, that can also be seen. You might be direct or blunt in expressing your feelings and philosophies, of course. Now indeed, you must be careful not to be too intense in your manner. Okay, I already like warned you about this thing, that when it's working in a negative way, then your speech may become harsh, etc., because you have tendency, like you often quarrels and may have tendency towards harsh speech. So let's say you see, if let's say you are using harsh speech on the way where it's required, that's a different scenario. But if let's say you are using it without using your brain, then of course that harsh speech can also put you in trouble. So you have to be careful for that. Of course, when Mars is the place in the second house and it's like afflicted, then definitely you may lie also. That can also be seen. Okay. Now guys, when Mars is placed in the second house, then it may possible that your early family life, when you are a kid etc, sorry, so then that can be a little bit disturbed if it's like afflicted over here, of course. Now guys, it is also seen when Mars is placed in the second house, and if you know, if it's like more like afflicted or something like that, and generally even if Mars is there in the second house, then you may eat like not like a very good quality food, or maybe like you have drawn towards, I hope you understand, like not a very healthy food. Okay, that can also be seen. You know, Hindu scriptures, like, you know, Vedic astrology also say that Mars in the second house, maybe you can eat like the negative foods, maybe non-veg and all these kind of unnecessary stuffs. That can also be seen. But now guys, Mars when placed in the second house, as I already told you, that it focus, like, you know, it make you a person who will focus more on material possessions. Okay, you guys are highly materialistic person. Okay, and they value wealth too much, like you value wealth too much. Wealth is really important. You would like to put a lot of hard work to make, like, you know, to, I can say, making wealth, because Mars, the energy is in the house of wealth. So definitely would like to, or I can say assets, to build assets, we can also say there. We can also see that when Mars is placed in the second house, so it might make you a person who think like, okay, for me to gain respect in the society, I must become wealthy. So for you, wealth become a way, okay, or I can say a medium for you to gain respect in the society. Okay, however, on the other side, you do a lot of hard work to earn wealth, to earn money, and at the same time you never give up, because Mars is like that passion, that energy, like never give up. That can also be seen. Okay, it is also seen that maybe you can be in business. Okay, and like, you know, because you are born with very, like, you know, this hard work kind of attitude, so it may also possible that you may be inclined towards business, or you would like to do that. Now guys, here is the thing. When you have Mars in the second house, and let's say you are in business, and like you are people who are working under you, it may possible that you maybe use very harsh word, okay, to talk to them. Because see, Mars is an aggressive planet, and it is sitting in the second house of your wealth, and also your like speech, how you speak. So you, like, you know, when you speak such a harsh manner, then like your people who are working under you may not like you very well, even though they are working due to some reason, but for long term they may not like you, to be very honest with you. So you just try to control that. See, the beauty of Vedic astrology is that you know this thing, or astrology is that you know, okay, I have this problem, I have Mars in the second house, and yes, this person is saying that my speech is like impacting others in a negative way. Sometimes I also feel that. Sometimes you get the vibe that, okay, what I am saying, my way of talking is really, you know, I can say not a good. Other people may not like it. Now see, how you say a thing, how you convey your message, there's a lot of different way. Okay, you can even learn about the psychology, try studying about the Google, start googling things that like how to say your words like in a different way, so that it will not I can say hurt others psychologically. Okay, you can convey your message but in a different way. But when you have Mars in the second house, it will give you such tendencies. So you are learning this now. So what is the best thing? You just try to reduce that tendency, of course. Okay, at least you just try to put your efforts. Okay, now this native with Mars in the second house would be quite firm at their needs, and want, I can say, and they want, and I can say, and they will do all possible thing for the same. Okay, definitely you are very quite firm for their needs and wants, of course, we know that, because so much passion is here. It is also seen, guys, however, that when you have Mars in the second house, aggressively you earn and aggressively you spend. okay, because I already told you these things. You are not able to save the money, okay, because you are earning that and then you are just spending on the things, or maybe worldly comfort, that can also be seen. So you also have to be careful about that you are spending, that is it's okay, but spend in a way that at least you have some saving as well, okay. So be careful for that. Of course, sometime you may find the people who are always shouting, like even if you see, like I have seen even some people, when they speak in such a way that they are just, even if they saying a normal thing, they are just shouting as if they have to do some announcement, and like it was really funny. So sometime if Mars is placed here, sometime you may also see that in certain placement or in certain aspects, it may also give that kind of speech to the person, which is like when this person speak, they speak in such a way that it feel like they would like to announce this for entire, maybe like city or entire country, right? That can be seen, okay. Like even I have seen like Mars in the second house, then you might also have a tendency to shout on your family members, okay. You would like to dominate others, like in the family discussion, let's say someone is discussing, okay, they are sitting on the table and everyone is like, okay, this happened, they are like, they speak in a way that they would like to dominate the discussion, that can also be seen, okay. Now overall the culture of this person's family may be very dynamic, okay, like family members, maybe it may also possible that your family member can be engineers, athletes, soldiers, surgeons, okay, etc. That can also be seen. So because Mars is there in the second house of family, that's why I said that. Mars suggests that the brother figure, like some brother figure in your life, may have a dominant role in the family. That can also be possible, okay, because Mars is like the brother kind of a thing. So that can also be possible. When you have Mars in the second house, you are likely to be a diligent worker, okay, while you may be slower than others due to your emphasis on the method and tendency to take each step carefully. You are passionate about creating valuable items, okay, while you are ambitious is earning money. Definitely you are very ambitious in terms of money and accumulating material belongings. You may be impatient person, okay, when it come to spending. You might be pretty possessive of material possession as well as the people. You enjoy physical exertion, and your physical ability and vitality contribute significantly to your sense of self-worth. Working independently is most enticing, or your place, or like you would like to work at a place at higher premium or accomplishment made on your own. On sensual and sexual level, the universe of five senses is critical to you. You have a robust appetite and a great stamina, right? Because of course here, like you now guys, when Mars is there in the second house, it is also seen that you are through and take pleasure in the process of creating something fresh and valuable. Guys, you, despite being pushed by your by anyone, let alone your employer, you take anything you do very seriously. That can also be seen when Mars is there in the second house, whether it is your profession or family or friends, okay, especially the second house related thing, because Mars is there. Mars, when it is in the second house, you also know that it has fourth, seventh and eighth aspect, so it will aspect fifth house and eighth house and ninth house by sitting into the second house, guys, okay. Now material goods are also significant to you, and you have a strong need to establish a pleasant and a comfortable environment to conduct your daily activities. Finally, you have an affinity for beauty and visually pleasing things, okay, which is your, I can say, weakness in spending money as well, okay. But see guys, I also believe that if we are earning money, we also have to spend it, because if we don't spend it, then what will we do? Should we just take it on our graves, okay, or of course we will not. So it's better to just spend it and enjoy the life, okay. But of course you have to be careful, you have to save as well, you have to invest wisely. It doesn't mean that if you invest, then it doesn't mean that if you just spend in like like okay, spend all your money whatever you are earning. That's not a good idea. and it also don't mean that like just saving and save all the money and do not purchase anything. That's really a bad idea. A balance is always a great idea. Okay, so that's what I can say. Now when you have Mars in the second house, you may have strong work ethics, I can say, and your strong work ethics results from the Mars ferocity, enabling you to start strong and end strongs. You oversee the entire process and ensure that each step is completed accurately with efficiency. Okay, this means that you work more efficiently on your own, allowing you to maintain the complete control over the project, okay, you are working on. However, if you are required to work with a group, be sure to listen to their concern and ideas as well. Okay, make the most of your patience and insight by listening to what others have to offer. As a result, you may discover a more efficient technique to accomplish tasks and refine your own. Okay, because see, why I said that Mars when placed in the second house, you may become like dominated, and also because it respects the fifth house of your mind, so that's why I said that. So just try to be I can say patient. Okay, that's what I can say. Mars in the second house of astrology indicates that you have strong convictions and you will fight to death to defend them. Now guys, it is also seen that when Mars is placed in the second house, it gives you lot of incoming gain, a lavish lifestyle, and also a very high sex drive. Okay, because you know why. I also to discuss about the aspect earlier. Now guys, when Mars is placed in the second house, then it might make you like if you are a person who have Mars in the second house, then you have the characteristics like kind of a soldier. Mars in the second house signifies dynamic and influential speech. You might have the energy to make lot of money. It may also possible that you can also be an influential public speaker of some kind. That can be possible. Okay, if it's in benefic aspect, then it will definitely give you speech with I can say with you speech with very confident, or we can say like how can we say that in a very convincing manner. Okay, but when Mars is working in the second house in a negative way, then when you speak, then people are like, oh my god, this person is very harsh. So that's the thing. When it's working in a positive way here, then it might make you very influential speaker as well, right? Like this native could address the crowd with single word, that kind of a thing. You will be energetic, bold, authoritative while speaking. But of course, I already told that if Mars is bad here, then speech may not be very good. Now of course, this indicate that you might be non-vegetarian person, Mars in the second house, and also you might have drinking habits. That can also be possible. It may also possible when you have Mars in the second house, you may likes to gain control of your family, okay, and also your family assets and all these kind of thing, and it might also make you a short-tempered person. Okay, you may also have frequent outbursts of anger and frustration. That can also be seen, guys. Okay, so this is another thing. Now guys, Mars mindset is in the second house, so it also aspects the fifth house by its fourth aspect. So it might give you a charismatic and attractive personality, and the energy possessed by you is invested in creativity, education and family. Okay, so that can also be seen. Now as for the second house, Mars make you a very risk taker person. Okay, you are likely to be hardworking. Besides this, you can be bold and may also be arbitrary. Okay, you are like you are a person with full of energy towards making money and accumulating wealth and possession in your life. Okay, so this is what we can say about Mars in the second house. So I hope you guys get some help from this video, and if you want personal consultation, then links are given in the description below. And now we will discuss what will gonna happen when Mars is placed in the third house of your chart. So guys, now we will discuss what will gonna happen when Mars is placed in the third house of your chart. So guys, first of all, what does third house represent? Third house relate to your willpower, your courage, your younger brother or sister. Okay, we can see that your younger sibling from your third house. How much courageous you are, We also see your adventurous natures, your self effort. Third house is the house of self effort. Okay, we can also see that. Third house is like your enthusiasm, okay, motivation, desire. Also it's like your communication, how you communicate. Okay, third house can also represent mechanical and technical field. It also represent computer technology, social media, marketing, sales, advertising, public relations, okay, fine art, music, drama, and a lot of things can be represented by third house, and like the thousands of other things we can see, of course. Okay, now guys, when planet like Mars, who have such an aggression and all these kind of stuff, comes to this house, then what will gonna happen? When Mars come to third house, it elevates the native desire to travel. So guys, when you have Mars in the third house, it may possible that you may love to travel. Okay, you may likes to travel. Okay, now Mars in the third house may also give you courage. Mars in the third house may also make you very courageous person. Okay, because third house is the house of courage and Mars is placed there, that's why. In fact, I have even seen that when you have Mars in the third house, it may possible that you may be in some service or some work which is related to a police, maybe working in military or something like that, army, you know, like you may be in some defense, like, you know, I hope you understand, because Mars when sit in the third house, it aspect the 10th house by its 8th aspect. Okay, so in your career, sometime I have even seen that when Mars in the third house, of course full horoscope consultation is required to see the big picture, links are given in the description, but Mars in the third house can also push you towards like that, like working in some maybe police, military, army, and all these kind of, like, you know, defense forces, that can also be seen. Now guys, Mars in the third house will make you a person who always lead and be the one to always in charge of things. Okay, that is why Mars in the third house, I can say, that can produce a very selfish leader also, or sometime a rude leader also. Okay, or at least you can call that a leader, but sometime rude also. But we cannot say that every time that person is rude, because even I have seen practically that when Mars is there in the third house, so other planets are, if other planets are well placed, then this person is not rude. He is a nice person, he is a nice police officer. In fact, he is one of the most honest person I have ever seen, and he is a police officer, and he is really nice person, in fact, to be very honest with you. And he is not at all rude, even though he is in such profession where he have to be strict and all that, but still, like, you know, he's a very nice person. So I was so surprised. So he also have Mars in the third house, but still, because of other planets also play a role, so we cannot judge that, okay, if Mars in the third house, it's rude. But generally Mars in the third house may make you some kind of in charge, like even if you are in the police, etc. So it may possible that at least some people are working under you, so you may be a officer, not even if not like a big officer, maybe a small officer in which maybe at least some people, like maybe 10-20 people are under you. Okay, however, this third house Mars can also possible that, like, you may become athlete, maybe soldier. Okay, that can also be possible. Now on the other way, of course, if let's say all the malefic planets are just destroying this Mars in a very bad way, then you will see the negative soldier, then you will see the negative kind of soldiers who are like who? Gangsters, thugs, looters, pickpocketers. All these are also seen with this placement. Why? Because it means that in their chart it is working in a negative way. Okay, now since this house rules over communication, so it may also possible that you may love to argue and debate. Okay, and take pride in defeating people verbally. Okay, so these guys are good in debating. Okay, that can also be possible when Mars is placed in the third house. Now guys, Mars when placed in the third house, it is said that it is a very good placement for work with computers or any mechanical or technical field. That can also be seen. You may also involve in engineering or maybe computer sciences, drafting, Okay, you can also work in car or some machine related thing, that can also be seen. You can also solve problems and complexities, okay, that confound others, okay, that can also be seen. You might also have immense willpower, focus and concentration when Mars is placed in the third house. You can finish any task, and even ones that are I can say grueling, okay, that can also be possible with this placement. You may be a pioneer in your field, that can be possible, guys, right, when Mars is there in the third house. You might be very bold, you might be very courageous, and also you might be very adventurous person. Okay, when Mars in the third house, it can also give you interest in like river rafting, skydiving, bungee jumping, and you may go to Dubai and you will like to just go to the height with the plane and then jump from there. You are like, oh my god, I'm enjoying my life like Will Smith. So that that can also be possible. You may never back down from a challenge when you have Mars in the third house. You may be, I can say, heroic also sometimes, that can also be seen. You might be excited, motivated, and have a strong like gesture for life, that can also be seen. Mars in the third house may be possible that you may never be lazy, okay, that can be possible because Mars here will give you tremendous courage and hardworking attitude. It may also possible, guys, however, when you have Mars in the third house, that your next born sibling will be masculine or may have aggressive nature or assertive nature. In fact, to be very honest with you, Mars in the third house may also give you a sibling who is like, you know, like not very good, you know, when he speak to you, then maybe he's very harsh or something like that. So that can be possible. It may also possible that the next born sibling may be in military, police, sports, computers, or mechanical or technical field, that can also be possible. Even though malefic planets are very good in Upachya houses, which is third house, sixth house, 10th house and 11th house. These are Upachya houses. Upachya houses are the houses which grow better with the time. That means their result will come as soon as you grow up in your life, okay, you become older. Guys, if Mars is well aspected, okay, here, and let's say or let's say Mars is ruling good houses at least, then you might be talented in fine arts, music, drama, singing also sometime, but for that singing we have to see second house as well. But like, you know, more we can say on the technical side actually, okay, like even in like singing you may connect it to some technical kind of work, okay, since Mars is a planet of commanding others. You may be a director or a producer also, that can also be possible. Yes, of course, why not, okay, if your Jupiter and Venus are well placed, then maybe. Experiences with a father, religious gurus, religious figures, and university professor, okay, like, you know, maybe very may not be very good in some time. It is also seen because Mars, when it is in the third house, it may aspect the ninth house. So whether you behave with them in an aggressive way or they are, you get a gurus etc which can be aggressive towards you, so that can also be seen. Now of course full horoscope consultation is required to see the big picture, but still these things are there. Now guys, when you have Mars in the third house, you may not scared to speak your mind and share your opinion. Your strength can be effective communication, or I can say authoritative communication here. Mars in the third house indicate that you possess plenty of information and desire to share it with the rest of the world. You are the powerless to stop yourself, okay. Due to your fortified demeanor, you may encounter a range of reactions to your controversial approach, okay. Those that enjoy a good argument will immediately get in and discuss their thoughts and beliefs. Others who are not accustomed to such an aggressive manner may withdraw totally from the discussion. That can also be possible, guys, when you have Mars in the third house. Mars in the third house if placed, then astrology indicate that you should make the most out of your vibrant personality. Then others will develop an enthusiasm for you, for your ideas as well. Okay, if you make most of your personality, then of course others will develop. You will have the potential to be highly inspirational to others when you have Mars in the third house. You want to keep your audience engaged, so pick your battles wisely. Attempt to be educational without being obstructive. Okay, this will make it easier for others to join your communications, or I can say join the conversation that you are Now guys, when you have Mars in the third house, as long as you can maintain a healthy balance of educated dialogue without lecturing others, you can keep fit and productive. You will constantly be surrounded by the people who will share your interests, and even others who are, I can say, curious about your thoughts. Mars, when placed in the third house of your chart, astrology says that it represents tremendous courage. Okay, in the native, that means you might have you might be very courageous person. Okay, if you have Mars in the third house, then you may want to lead and be, I can say, charge of everything. Okay, it may also possible that you always want to direct, or I can say control your family members or your sibling, or in other way it may possible that your sibling might be very harsh, or especially when your sibling talk to you, he can be very he may not talk to you in a very good manner, I can say. Sometime it is also seen. But of course, horoscope consultation is required to see the big picture, but still these things are there. It may also possible when you have Mars in the third house, sometimes this Mars can also make you a selfish leader or a manager, okay, or a selfish athlete, or I can say rude authoritative boss or some authoritative figure. That can also be possible. Okay, so even Mars in the third house can also make you self-made attorney or a business person. Yes, it can. Why not? When you have Mars in the third house, it might make you a person, or I can say it is seen that with the art of weaponry, and you might also be a you might also know the art of weaponry, or you might also have interest in hunting, or maybe martial arts, or maybe some sports which is related to weapon. That can be seen. Now let's say if you are a honest and devoted journalist and you have Mars in the third house, so it may possible that if you are involved in writing, let's say, so you may write violent and aggressive novels. Okay, or you may be a very violent, or I can say you may be a very aggressive technical writer. That can also be possible. Guys, when Mars is placed in the third house, it make you a person who have the ability to speak your mind quite readily when it comes to express your ideas and opinion. You know a lot about several subjects and you wish to share your knowledge with others. In communication, you are very direct and clear. That can be seen. So guys, this is all about Mars in the third house. If you want personal consultation, then links are given in the description. And now we will discuss what will gonna happen when Mars is placed in the fourth house of your chart. Guys, now we will discuss that what will gonna happen when Mars is placed in the fourth house of your chart. Okay. So first of all, what does fourth house represent? I would like to get answer from you. Write in the comments. Stop this video for 1 second. What does fourth house represent? What is the first thing that comes in your mind when you listen the word fourth house? I want the answer. Go and write down comment that what do you think that the fourth house represent? Tell me. Yes, fourth house is the house of happiness. Okay, the first thing is happiness. Okay, that's the fourth house. Then fourth house relate to your mother. Fourth house relate to your luxuries, vehicles. Okay, fourth house is also your heart. Like we also see your heart condition by your fourth house. Okay, it is actually your happiness first of all. Now of course your comfort, your luxuries, or I can say what cars you have, whether you have a plane, private jet, or maybe you have some boat, maybe a real estate, property, home, all these things we see, the thousands of things we can see from the fourth house. Okay, but fourth house is your overall happiness in life. Now what will happen when planet like Mars is placed in the fourth house of your chart? Now guys, see, Mars gain its directional strength in the 10th house, and 4th house is exactly opposite to the 10th house, which means what? Mars become directionless in the 4th house. Are you getting my point? In the 10th house Mars get the direction, that means Mars get directional strength. So opposite to that is a place which is 4th house, where Mars loses its direction. However, Mars is a friendly planet with the moon, and 4th house is the house of moon in the natural zodiac sign, because 4th house naturally have like the moon rulership, okay, because of the sign of Cancer influence in the Kalpurush Kundli. So it still doesn't feel very like comfortable here actually, although Mars is sitting in its like friendly planet moon home, but still, because Mars in the 4th house is direction less, okay, and Mars and moon shared completely different energy. Moon is like caring, nurturing, emotions, and Mars is like using swords, weapons, and like very aggressive person who have nothing to do with the emotions and kitchen and all these kind of stuff. Okay, so Mars in the 4th house generally said that like it has its own ways, but I would like to tell you something important. Mars when placed in the 4th house, so it is like, for an example, let's say it's like, for an example, a warrior, like Mars is a warrior, and you place this person in the kitchen, and you are saying that use your art of warrior to make food. Okay, so how like that person have to do it, because somehow he get trapped in the kitchen. He will do something, but he will always be frustrated, because like, oh my god, what the hell I'm doing here. He's doing some work and then he's like, oh my god, what the hell I'm doing here. My god, I have to be in the battlefield, right? So that kind of a thing. So due to this nature, Mars when placed in the 4th house may give you irritation. I'm telling you this irrespective of everything. When Mars in the 4th house, you might be irritated at your home. Like you might feeling like whether you have amazing placement, other planets are expecting this and that, and you are feeling amazing at your home, but at certain point of time, definitely, although when Mars in the there in the 4th house, it's very rarely that person will feel amazing at the home. Certain like you are feeling, let's say, happy now, but suddenly then you start to feeling like agitated, frustrated, because Mars here create that problem. And now we also have the solution. Okay, I will discuss that down the line in this video, that what you can do. So Mars in the 4th house when placed, it may possible that your mother may not, mother health can be, maybe mother health may not be good. Sometime it is also seen that when Mars is there in the 4th house, your mother can go through some operations, some surgery, maybe some chest surgery or something like that. That can also be possible. Mars in the 4th house can give you can give you arguments with the mother, but that's not 100% true. I'm telling you, I have seen people with the Mars in the 4th house, still they have good relation with the mother, although what it can create, then let's say you have Mars in the 4th house, but some other placement is good. So due to which what happen is that even though you have like sometime you may have disagreements, or I can say maybe you and your mother thinking is different, so due to which sometime you may argue or something like that. But if other planets are good, then you are like, okay, she is my mother, I shouldn't have to argue with her, so let's just avoid that argument. It's okay, she will have her own opinion, I will have her own opinion. That's what you must have to do, because the more you fight with your mother, the more bad it is for your displacement. So even though your mother have disagreement with you, and of course you will have, so just like try to choose your own path. Also guys, this is one of the indication of foreign settlement, because when Mars is placed in the 4th house, so this person may not feel happy at his homeland, although he may have cars, he may have property, he may have land, real estate, all this kind of stuff, but still this person may not feel very happy, okay, in his homeland, or at least where he born. something like, if he move away from his birthplace, it is really a great remedy for this person. And even if he can move to foreign land, if other indication are there, then it's really a fantastic idea. But for that, full horoscope consultation is required. But still, if you have Mars in the 4th house, definitely moving away from the home or maybe living in the foreign land, like you can even try this. If you have Mars in the 4th house, okay, let's say it is possible for you to move abroad, to travel abroad. So just build a plan that, okay, for 15 days, let's travel to different country, and you move away from your homeland. And suddenly you will see that within those 15 days, you will naturally feel happier. Naturally, you will feel that I don't know what happened by moving to this place. I'm feeling more peace of mind. Okay, because you are away from that Mars energy which was there at your homeland. Even when you have Mars in the 4th house, it may be possible that you may have some cuts, etc. Maybe you have some fight within the home. So like, if it's working in a very negative way, so that can also be seen. Now guys, of course, Mars in the 4th house can create your ill health of your mother. Okay, it may also possible that sometime it can also make you a strict person. Okay, unnecessary like strictness inside you. Now see, Mars is a planet which requires a medium to release its excess energy in order to achieve a balance in life. Okay, when it's placed in the 4th house, it will remove its energy in the 4th house, which is home. So like it's not a very that's why you will feel agitated, frustrated sometime. Okay, and you are like, what the hell is going on in my life? It may also possible that if it's working in a very good way, that then you may become very protective for your family, your mother. Okay, you may try to protect them. That can also be possible, but still some agitation, some frustration still be there, no matter how much protective you become towards your family member when you have Mars in the 4th house. Now when you have Mars in the 4th house, you may live with intense desires and driven to become successful in life. You might be energetic and feel it in a natural to, like, you feel it's natural to command other. Okay, now I have seen that many times I have seen when you have Mars in the 4th house, definitely you may have some arguments, fight with the mothers, especially arguments. See, if you are a male or female, doesn't matter, and if you argue with your mother and you have Mars in the 4th house, I want to tell you one thing. See, it is the blessing of God that you are watching this video and you know you have this knowledge of astrology, you're just learning, you are just getting this video. I would like to advise you something. If you have this placement, understand one thing. The more you fight with your mother, the more bad it is for your mother health, because in that case not only this get afflicted, but also the moon get afflicted in the chart. More you misbehave with your mother, and moon is also your money, your liquid, your cash. So in a way you are also influencing your life in a bad manner. Also when moon get afflicted, not only you will have income problem, but also you will have depression. So a good way is to try to avoid argument with your mother as much as you can. Let's say she is saying something, so you can stop, or you can avoid, you can go away for some time. But if you just try to argue with her, try to give response in a bad way for every single thing, then that fight will continue. So you, from this day, the best remedy right now is to avoid the argument as much as you can. Try to avoid it. In that way you can improve this Mars, but also you can improve moon in your chart. Guys, see, come on, become more practical. These things work in a miraculous way, I am telling you. Like, I have seen this remedy working in a fantastic way. In fact, if you just try to take blessing of your mother, that will be fantastic for you. Mars in the 4th house definitely may give you internally, like, sometime you are just sitting in your home and you are like, what the hell I am doing here? I have to move away, or like unnecessary conflict, unnecessary angriness inside them. That can be seen. Okay. Mars when sit in the 4th house. Now guys, one advice I would like to give you. Now it is not necessary, but when Mars is sit in the 4th house, it is really a great idea to take care of your heart. okay, your heart, because Mars in the 4th house can also affect your heart if it's working in a negative way. So always take care of your heart, eat healthy food, do exercise so that your heart will work properly, okay? Because in fact, actually, to be very honest with you, I think, it's okay to tell you, please do not see in a negative way, but Mars in the 4th house can even give you heartbreaks. Like you may fall in love with someone, and that girl somehow, like, you will get heartbreak, and then for certain period of time, see. But all this is karma actually. If this happened to you, then that heartbreak may teach you some lesson. But Mars in the 4th house can show that yes, maybe you will have at least one heartbreak in your life, and one heartbreak can be very transformative for you, and you will, like, someone will break your heart. Like if you are a boy, definitely some girl will break your heart, and if you are a girl, like, there are pretty high chances actually when you have, because I have seen that. So that can also be possible, guys. Also, guys, now see, when Mars is in the 4th house, it aspect the 10th house of career, okay? So by its 7th aspect, so it might make you a person who is talented in mechanical and technical field. That can also be seen. You might be good at engineering and computers, and if the rest of the chart is artistically oriented, then you make a best architect, okay? Mars aspect on the 10th house can also make you in this field, like architect, etc., or maybe something related to real estate. I hope you understand real estate related work. That can also, property related work can also be, land, real estate can also be seen, okay? You can even, you can even enjoy renovating homes, or I can say improving home, because that is also connected with the land, real estate, or some work in which you have to connect it to the land and real estate. You can also involve in that. You may be good at building things. That can be possible. Now guys, it is also seen that if Mars is very badly afflicted here, then it can give you some problem in your car, like maybe scratch in car or something like that, or maybe some fire in the home. That can also seen sometimes, okay? Now of course, full horoscope consultation is required to see the big picture. Now it may also possible when Mars in the 4th house, it is really a great idea for you to to just remove this energy, excess energy, or something like that. Doing exercise every day, maybe whatever you can do, or play a sport, maybe practicing martial arts, whatever you are interested in, some physical sport, playing every single day is really a great idea, okay? Now Mars in the 4th house is again manglik dosha, okay? Therefore if you have Mars in the 4th house, it creates you a very manglik person. So it's really a great idea for you to get married to someone who also have manglik dosha, which means if you have Mars in the 4th house, you should marry someone who have Mars in the 1st, Mars in the 4th, Mars in the 7th, Mars in the 8th, or Mars in the 12th. At least Mars in 1, 4, 7, 8 or 12 house. Okay, you should marry the person who have at least one of those placements. Then your married life will be good. Of course, full horoscope consultation and matchmaking, etc., is required, but this is like a good thing. If you do that, then it's really a great idea. Because in that way, both you and your partner manglik dosha get cancelled with each other. In this case, neither person will be victimized the other, and the bad marriage karma is, I can say, postponed or something like that. You can understand, because manglik dosha cancel each other in that way. So that can also be seen. The compatibility is more favorable when you get married to the manglik person, if you are a manglik, of course. Now if you are from Western world and it's not possible for you, or you may fall in love with someone who is non-manglik and you are manglik, or you are non-manglik but your partner is manglik, in that case it's really a great idea that you can try to delay your marriage, okay? You can be in relationship, but for marriage part you can delay that, maybe if possible then early 30s, okay, or maybe late 20s, or I can say at least try to avoid your marriage till 30, 31, or early 30s is really a best if you still want to do marriage of non-manglik and non-manglik. So that's I can recommend, okay? Now of course, if you get the person who is like the same, like manglik, then of course that's really a best compatibility, we can say, in terms of longevity of marriage and all this kind of stuff. Now Mars aspect on the 10th house by its 7th aspect. Also Mars aspect the 11th house by its 8th aspect when it sit in the 4th house. So it is good for energetically building up the career, pursuit of the gain from the income. That can also be seen. this will give frequent changes of career also. Okay, because on the 10th house Mars has aggressive drishti, like you know, 7th aspect. So due to which it may possible that you might change your career sometime. That can also be seen due to dissatisfaction or due to restlessness, because you are like, okay, now I'm just like, you know, bored, now I have to try something else. However, it will give you, we can say, good gains or substantial gains of earning through entering or leaving into different companies or doing something different. Okay, it is more good if you have more Mars in the 4th house. In that case you can also like involve yourself, or I can say do something which is independent profession, doing something of your own, targeted, competitive, project oriented task. It's really a great idea. Okay, not long term commitment, because see, I would like to give you something, I would like to explain here something. Mars is sitting in the 4th house, it is aspecting the 7th house, okay, with aggressive aspect. So sorry, it is aspecting the 10th house, it is aspecting the 10th house with aggressive, which is 7th aspect. So when Mars aspect the 10th house, it can give you change in career. So if let's say, if let's say you do a job and then there is a change of career, so your career might not be good, because if you completely change again and again, then there might be problematic. But let's say you are doing something of your own and you are doing something project wise, so there is already a changes. So in that way you are utilizing this negative energy of Mars into a positive way. Like for an example, you are a person who just build home and sell them. Okay, so let's say you are building 2 homes or 1 home, and then you are selling that. So that is like a project based work. You are building a home, you're investing your money there, and then you sell that home. Then there is like a change, then you build another home, you may build some new creativity, new designs, then you sell that, or then you may be building 2-3 homes simultaneously, selling them. So it's like a change already there. So that's kind of a thing is really suitable. Or maybe you are in some project kind of a work where you have to do something, and then you have changing, then you are doing another thing. So like, even like for an example, I'm doing consultation of one person, then there is a break, then there is a change, then I might be doing consultation of another person. Like for example, I'm doing consultation of a person who is from France, then I'm doing consultation of a person who is from United States of America, then I'm doing consultation of a girl who is from New Zealand, then I'm doing from India, then I'm doing from the Australia, then I'm doing from the London, then I'm doing from the Germany. Okay, are you getting my point? I'm doing consultation from the maybe Argentina actually. So, and if in fact I have taken the name of the countries from which I already get the consultation. Okay guys, so yeah, so that kind of a thing is there. I'm just giving you some examples. So I hope you understand, like, you know, if you do something of your own, because see guys, Mars when sit in the 4th house, it aspect the 10th house, it can also like create your nature, and like you might like to do something of your own. And especially if you are a if business yogas are prominent, or some independent planet like Rahu is also sitting at the ascendant or looking at ascendant. Let's say Rahu's or Mars in the 4th house, and now Rahu is sitting at the same time in the 5th house, then Rahu will aspect the 1st house by its 9th aspect. In that case, this person will become extremely independent. It is hard for this person to do job under someone else. So in that case, again, it's really a great idea to do something of their own, right? To do something of their own. So I hope you guys understand. It is also seen that when Mars is placed in the 4th house, so astrology indicate that you have passion, aggressive attitude towards the thing that can drive others, okay, including your loved one. Okay, insane. You can be manipulative to achieve what you want to, if you don't realize what you are doing. Now guys, when you have Mars in the 4th house, you are constantly working on home project or looking for the ways to make your life living condition better. You want to be the ultimate host, or I can say like or even the like the host to your family who live with you. Now guys, when you have Mars in the 4th house, most of your decisions are guided by your instinct, and you do, like, you want to do something until it feel right. I see Mars in the 4th house show that you will not feel happy here. So it is really a great idea to settle down abroad. If other solution are there, or I can say other combination are there in your chart, then if you settle abroad, you will also feel like peace of mind or happiness you will get in foreign land. Now here is the thing, if you can't go abroad, or if other yogas are not supportive in your chart for settling abroad, and you have Mars in the 4th house, then it's really a great idea to build a office at your home. No matter what work you do, the home you live, just try to convert one room into a office. I'm just telling you the best remedy of this world when you have Mars in the 4th house. Okay, so if you have Mars in the 4th house, what you need to do, one room, try to convert like one small room you have, convert that room into a small home office where you have to sit every single day and you have to work. Okay, even you have Mars in the 4th house, you can even work from home. Okay, you can even work from home. I'm telling you, if you do some work which is outside of your home and you have Mars in the 4th house, then what you can do, convert your home into an office. Okay, and just spend some, let's say even if you are doing some job for an example and you have Mars in the 4th house, then my recommendation for you is take one room of your home, convert into an office, and start doing something side by side in which you can do some work. Or let's say for an example, you are some property dealer or something like that, and you have some maybe office, so you can also convert one room of your home into office, and rather than going outside, start sitting into your own home, and you will see that once you do that, you will naturally feel much happier in comparison to the before, like what you were before. I'm telling you, this is the best thing, because practically see what is happening now. Before this, all the Mars energy in the home was going into the fighting and struggle, and right, I'm telling you, this worked fantastic. Okay, and now once you convert your office, like one room into office within your home, so what is happening now, the energy of that Mars is going into your work, and that is within home. Why? Because your office is within home. So rather than fighting, then you will start to work on that thing, like whose office you had just open in your home. So let's say even if you are doing any kind of, I can say, job, so, and let's say you are interested in anything, so just open a small office in which put some books related to your interest, have some proper desk, have a chair, and start working something within your home. When you are on home, daily at least spend some time, maybe half an hour, 1 hour. If you can do work from home, then make sure that you spend full day in working in that room, because that room is your office. Once you do this remedy, it will do miracle in your life. I'm telling you, this is the best remedy a person can do when you have Mars in the 4th house. Okay, I'm telling you guys, this work is in a very good way. Okay, now although guys, when Mars in the place in the 4th house in a positive way, it can make you like experience gains in terms of wealth, property, comfort, and lavishness in your life. Okay, and also of course you protect your loved one also. Okay, that can also be seen, but this remedy is really fantastic. Having a home office for Mars in the 4th house is a miraculous remedy. I'm telling you, it will do miracle. So guys, this is all about Mars in the 4th house. I hope this video helped you. If you want personal consultation, the links are given in the description. And guys, we will see that what will gonna happen when Mars is placed in the 5th house of your chart. Okay, now 5th house correspond to, like, you know, it represent your child. Okay, you're intelligent. Okay, your mind can also be seen from the 5th house. Like it can also represent speculative business. Now speculative business can be gambling, stock market, sports betting, or maybe you can say, like, you know, film industry can also be seen by this. And film industry is also a speculative business, guys. Come on, be practical. Like, first you invest your money in making a movie. Now if that movie will be hit, you will get good money, and if let's say it's flop, then of course you understand that. So that's why movie is also a speculative business. That's why we also see like a film industry, etc. here. And also 5th house is actually the bhavat bhavam of 3rd house, that is the higher form of third house. So that's why also it's really important for film industry, etc. Okay, and it is also the house of learning mantras. Okay, that can also be seen. It represent your love, romance, your education, like the graduation kind of education that you have, and your love affairs, like that can also be seen. Then we also see politics, okay, from here. So a lot of things can be seen. And also this is the house of past life credit, which is called to be as purva punya, so that can also be seen. So we can see a lot of things from the fifth house. Now what will happen when planet like Mars is placed in the fifth house? Okay, so guys, strong and positive Mars in the fifth house will make you very active and energetic, and like it led you to have a vigorous lifestyle. Okay, that can be seen. People with this placement consider romance as a creative and artistic profession. Creative and artistic expression. Okay, Mars need freedoms. Mars need freedom, and Mars do not accept a life captured in four walls. It need to go out. You can also that's the Mars nature. So leading a lively and energetic lifestyle is very important for these people who have Mars in the fifth house, and they often involve in the outdoor activities, okay, which also proves to be beneficial for the native. Okay, that can also be seen. So if you have Mars in the fifth house, so it may be possible that you would like to, even I have seen that Mars is strong in the fifth house, this girl would like to go to hiking, adventure sports, and doing going to the mountain climbing and all this kind of stuff. Now guys, if Mars is retrograde in the fifth house, then generally it is also seen that it may possible that you may find it hard to creatively express yourself. It can also be seen. When you have Mars in the fifth house, then it might make you intelligent person but also irritable. Which means what? Which means that you can easily be annoyed. Okay, or you might have tendency to get easily annoyed. That can be possible because of this Mars in the fifth house. Now guys, you are shrewd and streetwise and rarely fooled. Okay, because you see the selfishness of humanity and harshness of life early on. You figure out how to successfully make your way. However, you miss out on the sweetness of existence. You are a spectacle of humanitarians and others who are trying to help world. Okay, so that can also be seen when you have Mars in the fifth house. Now guys, it is also seen generally that when you have Mars in the fifth house, Mars is placed in the fifth house, then your firstborn child, okay, may be very assertive, aggressive. That can also be seen. Your firstborn child can also be interested in sports, military, or police related work. That can also be seen. Okay. Now guys, when you have Mars in the fifth house, then it might make you a person who is assertive and have been born with a forceful or aggressive nature, okay, carried out from your past life. That means you carried out this nature from your past life, because fifth house also represent the past life credit. Okay, you may be a gifted leader or a commander. Okay, you might be fine athlete, and if Jupiter is prominent, then you may choose a career in sports as well. That can also be seen. It may also possible that sometime if Mars is in some malefic aspect, then it might make you a person who will not be very religious minded, or who may not wish to practice some religious practices. That might not be so much important for you. It may also possible that in many cases when you have Mars in the fifth house, then it might make you a person who is selfish. This is because your thinking is worldly and not spiritual or idealistic. This person has disturbances with his eldest sibling due to the aspect of Mars on the 11th house. So it may possible that you might have some problem with the elder sibling, or maybe you have some argument etc with the elder sibling. Because see, when Mars sit in the fifth house, it throw its 7th aspect on the 11th house, which is your elder sibling. So that can also be possible. It may also possible that your elder sibling can be assertive, aggressive, or involved in sports, military, or police related work. That can also be possible here. Now guys, Mars in the 5th house is in the house of its friend Jupiter. Okay, so because see, 5th house is like, Jupiter is the significator of 5th house, so in that sense I am saying that. So Mars generally does well here. Okay, generally Mars does well here, provided that the placement is favorable. Of course, like foot horoscope consultation is required to see the big picture, but still. Now guys, when you have Mars in the 5th house, it might make you a person who can be flirtatious, or maybe you might also have multiple affairs. It doesn't matter if you are a male or female, for both it is true. Okay, now when you have Mars in the 5th house, then due to the aggression to make quick money, you may also suffer sometime losses in gambling in stock market if time and other aspect is not favorable, especially because in aggression you may unknowingly invest money and then you may lose. So you have to be really careful for that. That is the beauty of astrology, that you can at least know that okay, I have this thing, I have to be careful when I invest money in the stock market or gambling, because that may possible that you may lose if if other aspects are not good. Now guys, as per BPHS, which is Bharat Parashara Hora Shastra, Mars in the Trikona houses give advancement of fortune, recognition by the government, and prosperity at home and profits in business. Okay, so it's like as per that, it's really a good placement, we can say. This is actually a splendid placement for the professions which requires for a long and demanding energy, such as a stage performer, okay, profession of politics, theater, writing, fashion, athletes, sports person, lecturer, public speaker, okay, even some cases actors. Okay, any job that involve a dynamic, energetic performance, it is really a good placement. Mars when sit in the 8th house, it aspect your 8th house by its 4th aspect, your 11th house by its 7th aspect, and your 12th house by its 8th aspect. So in a nutshell, when Mars sit in the 5th house, it aspect your 8th, 11th and 12th house. So when Mars aspect the 8th house, and it is working in a positive way for you, so it can give you joint wealth with the spouse, or I can say unexpected treasure you may find, or maybe after you get married you get monies from your spouse, family, etc., in-laws. Okay, aspect on the 11th house is good, as it will give rise in terms of income, etc. Okay, if it's working positive for you, okay, or maybe income somehow through friend circle. Now guys, when Mars is placed in the 5th house, so it is also seen that you can also have an excellent desire for pleasure. Okay, you tend to pursue romance immediately and perhaps recklessly. Okay, many of you are sports fan who enjoy anything that has a degree of danger or entertainment, we can also say that. You devote a significant amount of your time and effort to pursuing amusement, enjoyment, games and pleasure. That can also be seen when you have Mars in the 5th house. You may be an active hobbyist kind of a person, like who would like to do something which is related to their passion. That can also be seen. Okay, your passion project, you would like to invest your energy in something which you are passionate about. You have a playful and showing personality. That can also be seen. You might also have a lot of fun in putting on showing your maybe body, etc., or something. On the other hand, you are definitely maybe competitive person. Okay, also it is seen that when you have Mars in the 5th house, your firstborn child will definitely be energetic and rowdy kind of a personality. So that can also be seen. Now if let's say this is somehow making connection with the 10th house, so it may also possible that the things which you are passionate about, you can also somehow involve that or convert that into a profession. That can also be seen. Mars in the 5th house, you live life to the fullest, while Mars in the 5th house, you put on long hours, play hard and will stop at nothing and get the most out of your life. While this make you a fun person to be around, if you aren't, then in that case you can be a nightmare to deal with. If Mars is in your 5th house in your horoscope, you are always trying to strike the right balance between having your fun and conquering difficulties. You enjoy good challenge and are I can say fiercely competitive, which need your desire for frequent thrills. Okay, Mars in the 5th house is like a fun loving and a playful personality you are, or I can say it will make your personality like a fun loving and playful. So instead, let them see that aspect of you, because you are so outgoing. Other people want to follow your lead or participate in whatever activity you are doing. Your energy is contagious and you use it to make the best out of every situation. Okay, or I can say best of every situation. Make a point of putting your talent and enthusiasm to good use, or to use it in a good way. Treat your loved ones with dignity and respect, and they will stick by you to the very end. Okay, practice self control. Okay, and like that's really a great advice for you. This will take you a long way in life and will beyond your charisma. Okay, you must be able to let go of your more like childlike tendencies and explore your desire to better at your own and others lives. Okay, so this is a kind of advice that's there for you when you have Mars in the 5th house. Now guys, when Mars is placed in the 5th house, it is also like signifies a tremendous amount of energy expressed by you in creativity, art, public speaking, influencing the crowd. So that can also be seen. It may also possible that if you have Mars in the 5th house, then you may spend your energy in fine arts, creativity, self-expression, and you are passionate about romance and all form of creativity and expression. However, sometimes it is also seen that you might suffer when it comes to education also, sometimes if it's like afflicted in that way. Now of course, for that we have to see Moon, Jupiter, Mercury, etc. For that horoscope consultation is required, but it can also be seen sometimes. Okay, now guys, one thing I would like to advise you, then sometime when you have Mars in the 5th house, you might also have sudden burst of anger, and you might angry on your child or physically abusive towards them. So if you are doing that, that's really a worst thing for you, because not only you are just destroying your 5th house, you are destroying your child life, and you are just destroying your life as well, because in that way you are negatively affecting your 5th house. So just try to control that. Okay, because when you know this information that you have this problem, so at least just try to control that. Just try to deal with your like children in a very polite manner. Do guys, when it comes like when Mars is placed in the 5th house, so Mars aspect the 8th house, so it can give you chance to like indulge in astrology, numerology, or maybe you have interest in these things. Okay, and or maybe you can also become surgeon if other placements are there. Similarly, Mars seeing the 12th house give you like success in maybe spiritual side of the life, that can also be seen. So guys, in a nutshell, when Mars plays in the 5th house, so it might make you like energetic and enthusiasm in all areas of life, I can say, or you might be very passionate about your passion, especially because 5th house also represent your passion. So in a positive way, it's really a good thing. You approach to life in righteous and in right way, and you tend to positively live your life. Okay, you may respect your family members and have deep respect for others in general. You are likely to be romantic and admirable, but whatever I have given some advice in this video till now, you have to keep that in mind. Okay, so guys, this is all about Mars in the 5th house. If you want personal consultation, links are given in the description, and now we will discuss what will gonna happen when Mars is placed in the 6th house of your chart. So guys, my beautiful girls and my handsome boys, now we will see what will gonna happen when Mars is placed in the 6th house of your chart. Yeah, so first of all, what does 6th house represent? 6th house relate to your like health, right? It can relate to your enemies. Okay, it is like healing others. It's the house of healing, medical work. Okay, if we see your competitors, your enemy, the people who jealous from you. Okay, we also see illness, disease, job, lawsuits, subordinates. Okay, or competitors giving services to others, and a lot of other things we also see from the 6th house. Okay, now 6th house in Vedic astrology is also associated with doing service or doing job for someone. Okay, we also see debts. Okay, and like the also sometime like losses, enemies from the 6th house. First of all, I would like to say something. When Mars is placed in the 6th house of your chart, so no matter where you work, at your workplace you have to be careful, okay, because it's possible if it's working in a negative way or in malefic way, then you might have some unnecessary maybe cuts or burn, something like that, like due to your own uh, I can say restlessness or something like that. By own mistake you might have some like cut, etc., or any problem at your workplace, so you have to be careful for that. Now when exalted Mars is placed in the in the 6th house, so you might be blessed with the good result in the profession, okay, that can also be seen. Now of course, if here is a trouble, like in the 6th house Mars has trouble, then things can be different, okay. If Mars here is not a good condition, then it may also give you some tendency which is like your mindset or like your nature. Your nature can also be like a criminal mindset kind of a thing. If it's reflected or working in a bad way, we can also see that. If Mars is placed in the 6th house, then you might have like good abilities to rise above your competitor and defeat your enemy. This is the best thing about the Mars in the 6th house, because here if you have 6th house Mars, then definitely you will have to face a strong competition, but the good thing is that you can win over your enemy. That is the best thing here, okay. If enemy arise and try to like overthrow you, okay, power or position anyway, okay, then definitely they will just regret like what they had done, because definitely when you have strong Mars here, then you have a great tendency to defeat your enemy, okay, and maybe even you can destroy literally your enemy, okay. Although for Rahu it is said that but still, like, it may possible that because Mars in the 6th house, when it is good placed, it give you tendency to have strong competitiveness with your enemy. It may also seen that when Mars is there in the 6th house, and let's say some issue come, health issue come, then you may like have the courage, or I can say you can overcome that easily, okay, especially when Mars is well placed here. Now of course, if Mars is afflicted, then definitely it may possible that you may have to suffer from problems, like you may have some like muscle related issue, or so that can also be seen, but of course for that full horoscope consultation is required. Now when Mars in the 6th house well placed, then it can give you powerful and successful person, it can make you, okay. Even you see, because see, it's the house of competition, and when Mars is well placed here, so you can even win the competition. And if 6th house is like strong, even you see the people who win the competitive exam, crack the competitive exam, so it can helpful in that way also if it's well placed here, okay. Now you work extremely hard and take your task seriously when Mars is placed in the 6th house, and of course Mars should be well placed. Your job may involve technical and mechanical fields, okay, maybe computer or engineering can also be possible, or you may possible maybe defense related work like military, working in police or something like that, that can also be possible. It may also seen, guys, sometime when Mars is placed in the 6th house, with this placement, sometime to some people it can also make them very impatient, okay, or irritable, okay, that can also be seen, like which may, I can say, be due to the aspect of like Mars which is throw on the 1st house, because when Mars sits in the 6th house, it throw its 8th aspect on the 1st house, so it may give you a little bit impatient nature, that can also be seen, okay. And also 6th house is an upachya house, which means it grow better with the time. So as soon as your age, like you become older, it becomes stronger, okay, that can also be seen. Mars start to become stronger, you will see that you will naturally have more, I can say, have a big appetite, okay, that can also be possible. And sometime whether you become very muscular, or maybe sometime it is seen that you may gain some weight also, okay, that can also be possible. Some scripture also say that when you have Mars in the 6th house, So it can make you a passionate person. Also when Mars is there in the 6th house, it will also make you lustful, okay, very sexual. Now why you think that it may make you lustful? Because see, it is due to the, we can see, like it may be due to the Mars, see, Mars is sitting in the 6th house, which is Upachya house. So is strength growing every year? And Mars when sit in the 6th house is aspect the 12th house of bad pleasures, sexual pleasures, by its 8th aspect, by its 7th aspect. Okay, so due to which it might make you lustful as well. In fact, it will make you lustful, of course. Although people also say, astrology, as per astrology, that Mars in the 6th house is an ideal position. Okay, because see, 6th house is a competition, and Mars is your fighting spirit, your fighting abilities. So when you have good Mars in the 6th house, you can defeat your enemies, you can win over your competitors. Okay. So guys, as per astrology, because 6th house is a kind of a malefic, and Mars is also a malefic planet, like the natural signification we are talking about. So when it plays here, so it favor strong results. Because see, even if the person is bad, for an example, if let's say you will find some bad person who is doing this and that, and so even though that person is bad, but no one wants to destroy their own house, their own home. Okay, in the same way, Mars do not want to destroy its, like malefic here in the 6th house. So that's why. Okay, I hope now you will get some idea that why it's like considered to be good in the 6th house, Mars. Okay, 6th house is the house of enemies, diseases, okay, debts. Mars here provide the favorable results through illness, exploitation and suffering. Now guys, on the downside, there might be problem due to overworking. Okay, conflict sometime with the like the office people, maybe subordinate or maybe superiors. Okay, that can also be seen sometimes. Okay, now guys, when Mars is placed in the 6th house, as long as Mars is strong, it provides aggression and competitive attitude to you. So if you have this Mars here, and so it's like definitely you will have this kind of attitude, due to which it's like good for you, so that you can overcome your difficulties. Okay, it can also be considered ideal placement for the people who are in career related to sports, army, navy, police, or maybe a surgeon. Okay, or maybe an engineer. Although full horoscope consultation is required to see the big picture, links are given in the description, but still these things can also be seen. When you have Mars in the 6th house, then it, like these natives, we can say that lifelong battle against the miseries of the society, such as poverty, crime, starvation, illiteracy. Okay, when Mars sit in the 6th house, guys, so it aspect the 9th house by its 4th aspect. So sometimes guys, it may also possible that if it's not working good, so it may give you problem or conflict with your father. Okay. Also sometimes it is also seen that you might not have interest in religious ceremonies, something like that can also be seen. Okay, now it may also possible, although due to this aspect, Mars when set in the 6th house aspect on the 9th house, you may travel a lot in your life. Okay, that can also be possible. And because Mars when set in the 6th house is also aspect the 1st house by its 8th aspect, so it might make you very we can say competitive attitude it will give you. That guys, when Mars sit in the 6th house, it may also seen that you worked really hard, very hard working person you may be. You put lot of efforts into your work. Okay, now and would like better be of working for yourself or someone else, but independently, because you can be easily irritated if you are in team. Okay, with the team member. Okay, because if let's say they aren't working as swiftly as you are, so you might be irritated. So sometimes it is also seen that whether you guys do something of your own, or even if you are in job, so maybe you are in a place where you might have some abilities where you can at least maybe a little bit in charge or something like that. So that can also be seen. Okay, so then it's then it can be better for you if you get something like that. It may possible that you may also irritate by procrastination. Okay, that can also be seen, guys. Now guys, you guys can also be expert in organizing and reorganizing, we can say sorting or categorizing or analyzing information when you have Mars in the 6th house. Okay, when you have Mars in the 6th house, you put lot of efforts into every job you accomplish. Okay, if someone and also if someone criticize or like on your work or something like that, you might quickly become, I can say, defensive on that statement that is being given by this other person or something like that. If let's say you are working and someone is criticizing you, so you might become a defensive because see, 6th house is the house of competition. So you may feel like, okay, you are competing with me, so naturally you have those tendency. And that's why it is also said that working for your own, like working for your own, being your own boss, or maybe working for other where you can have the authority. So these things can be good for you, because if you have the authority, so no one is there who can just criticize you or maybe something like that. I hope you understand. Now guys, when you have Mars in the 6th house, then working hard is second nature to individual board with this Mars in the 6th house, and you definitely strive for perfection. Whether you work alone or you work with a team, you put all your energy and excitement into getting things done correctly. Your direction is correct, but your standards are very high. Okay, your attention to detail is unsurpassed. Okay, your attention to the detail is unsurpassed, and this qualifies you for any position. You are organized, you are systematic, you are an intelligent person, you are an intelligent, okay, and you rarely let others down with your work. This is also why you have a hard time taking constructive criticism, even if it is a minor difference that someone else's might dismiss as insignificant. You regard it as a slap in the face to your entire project and all your efforts. Okay, so like that's why I already told you that even if someone try to criticize you, because Mars is strong, if let's say in the 6th house of competition, then you are like, you see that as a very, like, even if someone is trying to give you a little bit of like, hey, this is not good, so you are like, you feel like that person hit on your face, so you just naturally become defensive. So I already told you that this quality of Mars definitely give you a very competitive nature. Mars in the 6th house indicate that you should attempt to be less demanding on those around you, including your family and friends. Your notion of perfection don't always mesh with others, with those of others, we can say. And to get things done, you must be willing to compromise on occasion. Okay, this does not imply that you must compromise on the end outcome. It is simply indicate that there are multiple approaches to accomplish the same goal. When people often people offer suggestion, have an open mind, guys. Come on, this is like a best advice for you. Instead of feeling, although you will feel competitive, I can understand that because Mars here, but still, from next time you are learning astrology, this is the beauty, that at least you know that, okay, I have this problem. If someone is offering a suggestion, then I can see that as an open mind instead of just seeing that as a slap on your face. Okay, you can pick up few tips from the people who are expert in the field other than your own. Okay, don't hesitate to take tips from the people. Okay, there is no problem in that. It's really good to take it. Okay, you will get more respect and loyalty in this manner if you take advice from the people who are much better than you. Instead of seeing them as a competitor, see them as a teacher, see them as a guru from which you can get some good teachings, and that can help you later in your life to just I can say go higher and climb the success ladder. Okay, people will also work harder for you if they know you value their efforts. Guys, Mars in the 6th house in astrology is very courageous position. Mars makes you a fighter, a destroyer of enemy, and this is also a good placement to become a nurse, to become a doctor, maybe a ward boy or something like that, or going into a medical field also, or maybe someone who is a surgeon, depending upon how other position of chart is. Okay guys, sixth house is the important placement for Mars, as Mars is the energy of a soldier or a warrior, and the sixth house is a battleground for it to achieve or compete everything in the life. Mars in the sixth house represent the competition, okay, of you with yourself also in some case. Yeah, native of Mars in the sixth house can get argumentative, competitive, and focused on justice. This implies that you could be a lawyer, soldier, policeman, athlete, surgeon, doctor, nurse, or maybe someone in the battle, like, you know, where you have a strong competition. Although nowadays we have competition almost everywhere, but still these positions are like, you know, this position is prominent for these professions. Okay, you know, when you have Mars in the sixth house, with this position of Mars in the sixth house, the competitive practices help you to achieve or I can say win in your life. Although of course if Mars is not well placed here, then things can be different. For that, horoscope consultation is required to see the big picture. Okay, because I have to be careful what I am saying, otherwise I know that most of you are in panic and start to feel bad, and I do not want that. When Mars aspects the ninth house, so it may also possible that you formulate your own rules, okay, or belief regarding law or religion. Okay, and also it may possible that it may give you heated argument with your gurus, with teachers. Okay, so that can also be seen, guys. So guys, overall we can say the native with Mars in the sixth house are likely to be very hardworking. They have a competitive nature. They have the tendency to win over their enemy. They put a lot of energy and effort in their work. Besides, they can become highly skilled at organizing, reorganizing, sorting, classifying, and analyzing things. Okay, and analyzing thing also I also mentioned, so please remember that. So guys, this is all about Mars in the sixth house. So guys, now we will discuss what will gonna happen when Mars is placed in the seventh house of your chart. Okay, so we will discuss that. Now guys, first of all, tell me, what does seventh house represent? Seventh house represent your spouse, your married life, your sexual passions, your sexual partner. Okay, or we can also say partner of all kind, like your business partner. It also show your talent in business, your talent in trading. Okay, also your tendencies to live in foreign lands. Okay, it's also sometimes seen from the seventh house because it's like a further away point from your ascendant. That's why. So it can represent a lot of things if you use the Bhavat concept also, and thousands of other things as well. But in general, these things are really important that we see from the seventh house. Okay. Now guys, Mars, the planet of courage, strength, energy, bravery, when placed in the seventh house of your partner, will show that definitely, you know, like when Mars here definitely showed that in your spouse, she will definitely be a dominating kind of a person, or he, like as per your, like, you know, thing, like if you are a girl, then your husband could also be very dominating, or I can say very athletic body type of person. And if you are watching for your wife, then of course she can also be have like a Martian energy. They will have, your spouse will have. Now of course full horoscope consultation is required to see the big picture. Links are given in the description, but still these characteristics will be there. Now guys, when Mars is placed in the seventh house, it may possible that you and your partner may have some opinion disagreements, or I can say difference of opinion. Okay, now of course, if some like what planets are sitting with Mars, in which sign Mars is sitting, what are the planets which are aspecting Mars, we have to see all that. But generally, you know, I would like to give you an advice. If Mars is there in the seventh house, so it may possible that your spouse and you may have some difference of opinion. Now you have two things. You know astrology now, and you know that you have Mars in the seventh house, so you may have some disagreement with your spouse, some different of opinions. So whether one option is that you can just keep fighting and activate this Mars more and more and create more problem in your life. Other solution is that you understand that, okay, I have this, okay, yes, I have this problem, or I have some disagreement or some difference of opinion. So once something happened that where you have this opinion with your spouse, so instead of start fighting to him or to fighting to his or her, what you can do, you can just always remember this thing that, okay, I have Mars in the 7th, maybe some disagreement, it's okay. So just try to deal with I can say in a very intelligent manner. Try to explain your wife or husband in a very soft manner, like, hey honey, we understand that we have this, and it's okay, it's happened sometime. So just try to understand that. If you, instead of doing this, start to argue, and then you can take it anywhere. So this is kind of advice I would like to give you. Mars, when you have Mars in the 7th house, then if you have disagreement with your spouse, then just try to, it's okay, try to understand that it's okay, I have Mars, and that there will be some disagreements. So, or I can say some difference of opinion I'm talking about, okay. So just try to deal with intelligence when you have some difference of opinion. What the hell is happening? Why I'm not able to speak it? Whenever you have difference of opinion, just try to deal with intelligence with your spouse instead of just unnecessary arguing and fighting. That's not good here. Okay, so this is the advice from my side. Now guys, Mars in the 7th house is another manglik position. So it is advised that if you get married to the person who is also manglik, which means if you have Mars in the 7th house, you must marry a girl who have, you must marry a girl or a boy, like you must marry a person who have Mars in the, whether in the 12th house or in the 1st house or in the 4th house or in the 7th house or in the 8th house, because these positions are also manglik. So when a manglik person get married to another manglik, so this dosha become cancel out. Okay, so that's what like the Indians do basically. So it's like a strategy in India. And if you are from a Western country, let's say you are from Western culture, then let's say in Western country, like if you can find the person who also have manglik dosha, and if you are a non-manglik, then try to find someone who's non-manglik. But of course, if you have Mars in the 7th house, so you are a manglik, so try to find someone who is manglik. And let's say you fall in love with someone who is non-manglik, then what you can do? So in that case, for Western people, the good idea is to delay the marriage at least till early 30s. Okay, you can be in relationship with that person, but the legal bond, or I can say the spiritual ceremony, etc., whatever you do, religious ceremony, do that at your early 30s, maybe once you turn 30 or something like that. Then it's really a great idea. This position nonetheless will make you quite independent and courageous personality, okay, and you will able to fight all kind of oppositions. That can also be seen. If there is no affliction and Mars is well placed, then you can be we can say that a very protective person as well. Now guys, when you have Mars in the 7th house, it may also possible that you may attract, or I can say you may like someone who may be assertive, fiery type of individual, and who may have maybe reddish kind of, like their hair have some reddishness, like you see reddish brown or something like that. They have maybe reddish kind of hairs, so that can also be seen. Your spouse may be a little bit aggressive, okay, and very physical, and can be a little bit argumentative as well, and may try to dominate in your relationship. That can also be seen, so you have to be ready for that as well. Mars here can also involve, like it show that spouse could also be involved in computer, technology, sports, defense related work like military, police, etc. That can also be seen. When you have Mars in the 7th house, so it might make you a person who has endurance and is able to exert your desires above others. So that can also be seen. And you therefore become therefore you become a very powerful and successful person as well. Now guys, when Mars is there in the 7th house, is also aspect the 1st house. So the problem here is that it might give you very fiery temperament, or little bit angry kind of a temperament. So the problem is that now Mars in the 7th house, so your spouse will also be dominating, and if Mars is aspecting your 1st house, so you also have angry temperament. So it's like two fires together. So if let's say you have relationship and then you guys both are start arguing. So because see, at least one have to be subservient, one have to stop. So that's why it's really a good advice for you that you know astrology and you know that you have Mars in the 7th house. So just try to control your anger. Okay, just try to understand that I have this position. So for having good married life, I have to be maybe like just reduce your angry nature, or especially in your marriage deal with the intelligence. That's really a great idea. Guys, it is also seen that when Mars sit in this 7th house, you may eat bad foods or drink alcohol, and like you may go up to negative things a lot, maybe eating non-veg, etc. Why? Because Mars when sit in the 7th house, it aspects second house with the 8th aspect. So that's why it can also be seen. Okay, now you might have Mars in the 7th house and you might not take these things. That's what the other planets play their role. Maybe some benefics are sitting in the second, or benefics are also aspecting the second, so then things can be different, but still these tendencies are there inside you. So just try to reduce them. When Mars sit in the 7th house, so naturally 7th house is the Libra sign, which is the Kalpurusha. As per Kalpurusha only, 7th house is the sign of Libra, which is ruled by the planet Venus. Mars is aggression, Venus is love, romance, sex. So when Mars here plays, it might make you very sexual, very lustful. Okay, that can also be possible. Now it may also, if let's say it's afflicted or something like that, it may also give you tendency towards extramarital kind of a thing, or maybe having affair with more than one partner. So that can also be seen sometime. Okay, of course your spouse will be competitive by nature with you. See, I am saying again and again that if Mars is there in the 7th house, so just try to, it's okay to be subservient sometime. It's okay to not to argue, and if she's saying, then sometime you stop. See, it's a good idea if you have Mars in the 7th house now. So just discuss with your spouse like, hey honey, see, I have Mars in the 7th. So it's really a great idea. If let's say we get angry, let's make a rule that whenever we are angry or any one of us is angry, so then other person will stop. He will not reply back in a bad manner or not say any harsh word. So in that way the things will be better. Let's say your wife is angry. Okay, so you stop at that time when he is shouting, when she is shouting. And then let's say your husband is angry now, so you stop, you don't say any bad word or anything like that for some time, and then still the time their anger calm down. So it's really a great strategy in this case, because otherwise if you both start to then your marriage is turned into a battle. So it's really a great idea what I'm saying. Please always remember that. Because in this case you both want to dominate and you want to be the leader of relationship. So it's really a great idea, when one is angry, other stop. Make that kind of contract with your spouse, or make just sit with them and tell them that, hey, when you will be angry, I will stop, and when I will be angry, you will stop. In that way it's really a great strategy. In that way, otherwise you will fight. So I'm giving you the best remedy, guys, and the most practical one. If you do, because I have seen people doing this thing when they have, and it's in that case their marriage is work good. Because let's say you are angry and your spouse do not say bad word to you in return when you are saying something, and he just move away and sit in another room. So after maybe shouting for 10-15 minutes, you just stop, and then you suddenly realize, oh my god, what I said to her or what I said to him, it's not good. Maybe you can say sorry also later down the line, and then same goes for him or her. When that other person is angry, he do the same and you do the same. You just stop, you don't say anything, you just move away to another room and simply sit down, and maybe after 50-20 minutes the other person may be relaxed, and then he may come and she may come and say sorry to you. So in that way it's really good strategy actually. Okay, so guys, Mars when sit in the 7th house, it throw its aspect on the 10th house, which is the 4th aspect. It throw on the 10th house. Also it throw its aspect on the 1st house. Also it throw its 8th aspect on the 2nd house. Okay, so in that case, guys, what happened? From this placement, the aspect on the 10th house provide energy and aggression at your workplace. Okay, this gives success, but there can be some problems with the colleagues at the workplace that can also be seen sometimes. So you have to be careful what you are saying, how you are saying. Don't become too harsh. Okay, so that you should also understand that this is an excellent placement for the career. As see, 7th and 10th are connected, so sometime we can also see if other things are working good, then business related thing can also be favored here. Okay, the aspect on the first house cause we can say little bit anger issues. Okay, I already told you the best thing for with you and your spouse, how you can deal with this. Okay, so that can also be seen. Now the aspect on the second house, Mars when sit in the 7th house also throw its 8th aspect on the second house, so it can give you friction with your family member. Okay, mainly due to the aggressive speech, right? So just try to maybe reduce aggression in your speech, although naturally things will be there, but at least you are learning astrology, so the benefit is that you can just change yourself. Okay, so that's what I want to say, guys. If you are learning astrology, and just try to change yourself so that at least you can do something good in your life. Okay, that's really important. That's the benefit of learning astrology. Okay, with Mars when placed in the 7th house, you need a companion who push you. Okay, and who might be very passionate in terms of intimacy, also active physical person. Okay, who might be push you. Okay, or I can say you naturally feel attractive toward that person. When you have Mars in the 7th house, you have a lot of energy, which can be good or harmful depending upon where you put your energies. You have a hard time setting ideal, and you accomplish a lot during the day. According to the Mars in the 7th house astrology, bringing in people with the correct experience to help you achieve your goals is the most pleasing things you can do to advance your job and life. You surround yourself with dedicated social group to handle those annoying responsibilities. Okay, you are overly preoccupied with getting the most out of the life. This also implied to your romantic relationship. You need someone who can keep up with you and challenge you because of your we can say fiery disposition. Okay, fiery disposition courtesy to Mars. You enjoy debating and a good argument as long as it keeps things flowing between you and your partner. Okay, for that I already told you, between you and your partner the solution best I already told you. Guys, Mars is also significant for employees and negotiation. So when Mars aspect the 10th house by sitting into the house, like by sitting into the 7th house, Mars when it aspect this 10th house, it signifies that you could be employed in courthouse as a lawyer or any government agency due to your argumentative or dominating nature. Okay, we can also see that. Now if let's say Saturn or Mercury is also placed with the Mars, then you can also be good in business. Okay, that can also be seen. Okay, when Mars sit in the 7th house, it aspect the 1st house, so it also signifies the straightforward personality of you, and which can make you a good leader also. Okay guys, that can also be seen. So guys, this is all about Mars in the 7th house. I hope this video helps. If you want personal consultation, links are given in the description. And now we will discuss what will gonna happen when Mars is placed in the 8th house. Now guys, we will see that what will gonna happen when Mars is placed in the 8th house of your chart. So guys, first of all, what does 8th house represent? 8th house represent your longevity. It represent your sexual organs. Okay, it represent death also. Okay, we see like your life, how much long your life will be. It can also show legacies, insurance, okay, partners, finances, your in-laws, your spouse face, money that you get from your partner, unexpected gains, like someone who found money somewhere, or maybe diamond, gold or something you just found somehow inside a pit. That can also be seen from here. Banking is also associated with it. It is a house of occult sciences, astrology, mystery, tarot card reading, intuition related thing. It also shows sexy appearance, but mainly when you have moon or maybe Venus, or especially moon in the 8th house, so show that you might have a sexy appearance. Okay, and it can represent a lot of different things. So guys, what will gonna happen when planet like Mars is placed in the 8th house of your chart? Okay, so Mars in this house, it can cause, if it's negative, then it can give you sometime cuts, sometime burns, and if it's going, if it's like worst, then in some case it can give you accidents as well sometimes. Okay, so of course full horoscope consultation is required to see the big picture. Now this person can get into argument with in-laws, okay, if it's working in a negative way. So what is a good advice for you is that if you have Mars in the 8th house, just try to deal with your in-laws with intelligence. Okay, try to deal with your in-laws with very I can say, like, using your brain instead of just doing arguments with them, or just unnecessary argument. Try to avoid as much as you can. Just try to talk to them with very cleverness, I can say, or I can say just try to avoid an unnecessary or any arguments with your in-laws. That's really a great idea. I can give you an advice here. Native with the Mars in the 8th house also show that, like, Mars placement in the 8th house is also show that you might have gains after marriage, or you might have gains through some secret means. Okay, it may also seen that if you have some, like, Mars is well placed here, then you are likely to earn good amount of money, success and recognition may be related to the occult sciences profession, because 8th house is definitely related to these things. But of course, for that full horoscope consultation is required to see the big picture. Links are given in the description. Now Mars is placed in the 8th house, then it may be possible that you may sometime argue with your spouse about money or something related to money. So I would like to tell you that now, if let's say this Mars is well aspected by benefic, etc., then the situation may not be like that, but still some energy of that is there. So try to avoid any unnecessary conflict or argument with your spouse, especially if they are related to money, etc. Try to avoid them. Or even if you want to discuss something related to her or him, then discuss in a very how can I say, in a very relaxing manner, in a very normal way, like a friend, not like an aggressive way. Like, you have to cleverly discuss things with her or him, so that they will, like, your partner, like, see, imagine the other person is your partner, not your enemy. So at least you just try to discuss things in a very soft manner instead of using harsh manner. That's what I can say. When you have Mars in the 8th house, you might be very excited and enthusiastic about your life. Definitely you will have high sex drive, and it can make you sexually attractive as well. Okay, you might have interest in psychic like psychic related thing, astrology, tarot card reading, metaphysical matters. Okay, so that can also be seen. But of course, if you have Mars in the 8th house, you have to be careful from the unnecessary cuts, accidents and all these kind of stuff. You have to be careful. Like, try to avoid riding unnecessary very fast bikes, or just doing this stunt and that. Just try to be careful about those things. Okay, of course it all depends upon how Mars is placed here, which planets are aspecting it, and all that kind of stuff. It may also seen when Mars is placed in the 8th house, so you might have maybe difficulties in relationship with your younger brother or sisters. Now why this is? Because when Mars sit in the 8th house, okay, it aspect the 3rd house as well, okay, by its 8th aspect. Okay, so that's why Mars also aspect the second house, so sometimes it is really a good idea. In fact, I would like to tell you precautions that's better when it aspects the second house. So try to avoid doing unnecessary argument with your family. Okay, to have a good relationship with your family, that's really a great idea. Now guys, when you have Mars in the 8th house, it is another position of manglik dosha. Okay, so when you have Mars in the 8th house, it's really a great idea to do horoscope matching and marry someone who have Mars in the 12th, Mars in the 1st, Mars in the 4th, or Mars in the 7th, or Mars in the 8th. If you have Mars in the 8th house, so try to marry the person who has Mars in 12th or 1st or 4th or 7th or 8th, any of these houses. So in that case, it's really a great idea. In India, like people marry someone who also have affliction. Like you have affliction, you have Mars in the 1, 4, 7, 8 or 12, so you have to marry who also have Mars in the 1, 4, 7, 8, 12, any of these one houses. So you have in the 8th house, so you can marry the person who have Mars in the 1, Mars in the 4th, Mars in the 7th, Mars in the 8th or Mars in the 12th. But of course, full horoscope consultation is required. But in this case, if you do that, so your manglik dosha and that other manglik dosha will cancel out somehow. Okay, in a simple word I would like to explain. And so it will not affect your marriage compatibility if other things are also matching. If you are from Western world and you think that, oh, it's hard for me to do that, like we fall in love and then we would like to get married, then it's okay to be in relationship with that person. In that case, you can see this idea that what you can do is just delay your marriage at least till early 30s. Maybe marrying after 30 is really a great idea. If you are from Western country and you think that, oh, I am manglik, I have Mars in the 8th house, my partner doesn't manglik, like he or she doesn't have Mars in the 1st, 4th or 7th or 8th or 12th. So in that case, you can just try to delay your marriage maybe till early 30s. Till that you can enjoy the relationship. After that you can just do the legal binding or any spiritual or religious ceremony. Okay, so in that case it's really a great idea. Now guys, Mars here aspect the 11th house also. Mars when sit in the 8th house, so 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th it's also like it throw its 4th aspect on the 11th house when Mars sit in the 8th house, which could be beneficial if you engage with the business activity. Okay, so you may, like it may possible sometime that when Mars sit in the 8th house, so it might be hard for you to work under somewhere else, or we can say maybe to prosper and like under working with somewhere else. So maybe working independently if other things are also favored in the chart is really a great idea. Mars when sit in the 8th house aspect the 3rd house, which is also your neighbors. So sometime it can also give you troubles with the neighbors. Okay, so you have to be also careful like with your neighbors. Just try to deal with intelligence to your neighbors instead of just unnecessary arguments. Because see, when you do all these things, you're not only doing one thing, you are activating certain things. Okay, if you have this position and if let's say 3rd house is in the other way is not bad, but this Mars and you find that you have problem with the neighbor, that means then Mars is throwing its aspect on the 8th, which is activated. Okay, so like that can also be seen. When Mars is there in the 8th house, so your emotions may be very strong and intense. You may frequently wrestle with the fundamental concern about the life and its underlying implication on an internal level. Okay, you are always hunting for these answers, yet you are getting little or no relief. Your instincts on the other hand are typically spot on when it comes to other people, because you didn't want others to realize how vulnerable you are. You tend to hide everything. Your psyche and emotions are made up of numerous layers. Only your closest friends and family will able to see even a tiny fraction of it. Now guys, it like astrology also say that when Mars is placed in the 8th house, So you may have some abilities by which that it say that you may read people like a book. That means like you can have very good intuition. You are always aware of what's happening behind the scenes, right? Nothing can be hidden from you. That can also be seen. Learning the truth about others or any situation is what motivates you the most. You know you can't be duped and take delight in it. Okay, that is why you will only accept perfect loyalty from your friends and family. You rarely give your heart to someone unless you believe they are the one for you. This implies you might not be able to experience love until you are older. Okay, now of course it may possible that other placements are there due to which they will give you love earlier, but generally it is said that when Mars is there in the 8th house, so you may experience love little bit like with delay. That can also be seen, but when the love come, it will be wonderful for you, and you are more voracious in the bedroom in that sense for sexual kind of a thing. So it's good. This is where you may show your true colors and allow your companion to peek into your soul. Okay, Mars in the 8th house provide the most spiritual sensation, and you can ultimately be yourself without a fear of rejection. Okay guys, sometimes it is also seen that Mars in the 8th house can give you long life, gains through manufacturing business, medical business, police force and communications. Okay, that can also be seen. Mars when placed in the 8th house, so you can be a healer, you can be a doctor, you can be an engineer, you can be a surgeon. Okay, your project, see your there is a dominance in your personality, in your voice, which could lead you to be an influential speaker or maybe a famous dramatic actor as well, because when Mars sit in the 8th house, it aspects the 2nd house as well as the 3rd house. So like your communication, your face, your speech is very dominating because of Mars nature. Okay, so we can also see that. Now guys, so overall if we try to sum up, Mars in the 8th house can make you very very passionate person, and besides this your intuition is really powerful. Okay, so that can also be seen. You might have a very intuitive abilities, very good intuitive abilities can be expected here. So guys, this is all about Mars in the 8th house. I hope this video helped you. If you want personal consultation, then links are given in the description below. And now we will discuss, guys, what will gonna happen when Mars is placed in the 9th house of your chart. So guys, first of all, what does 9th house represent? 9th house represents religion, your philosophy, college, okay, universities. It's like your house of your higher education, long distance journeys. It represents traveling also, traveling to long distance, maybe like the very distance, like also the pilgrimage. We also see that it is the house of your luck, fortune. We also see your father from your 9th house. Okay, it is the house of your gurus. Okay, so we see a lot of things from the 9th house. So 9th house is really important house in our chart. So guys, what will gonna happen when 9th house is occupied by Mars? Okay, so guys, a person with the effect of Mars in the 9th house, or I can say a person in which horoscope Mars is placed in the 9th house, he or she is quite fond of traveling and adventure, but with it comes the danger of risks. Like this person, like how it comes to danger, like this person is like a very risky adventurous travel, like he would like to just go to Dubai and do the skydiving. He would like to do river rafting in Rishikesh, India, and he would like to do bungee jumping and all those adventurous risky sports. He love it. Okay, because Mars is like oh, come on guys and girls, my beautiful girls and my handsome boy, let's do it. So that can also be seen. Mars in the 9th house create lots of disagreement with your teachers, with your professors, with your gurus, with your fathers. Like they are saying that we will go to west, you are like no, I will go to east. So like that can be seen, guys. Again, Mars doesn't really like to be told what to do. They don't like to take orders. So that's why when you have Mars in the ninth house, you are like, oh, I do not like to take your order, my guru, my teacher, my professor, I don't like it. Now of course, if benefics are respecting it and other condition, I don't know which planets other like are conjunct with Mars in the ninth and what's going on, then things can be different. But generally these things can be seen. For that, full horoscope consultation is of course required. Links are given in the description. Okay, when you have Mars in the ninth house, you will have your own viewpoints and you does not require others guidance. It is like a blessing to you. Okay, native from this house are more inclined to study and research on various topics related to the spiritual growth of the soul. Okay, that can be possible. And also you might also be go beyond this if there are some other support, okay, or I can say supportive influences in the horoscope. I hope you understand, like in this field, if you go like down, so down in the sense like you will go dig deep if other chart is like the full horoscope is also inclined towards these fields. Especially see important during moon dashas or bhuktis, we can say. Mars in the ninth house, if Mars is placed in the ninth house, then person will become a pioneer of a religion or philosophy. He or she has a very strong view and opinions that he wants to share, and he is very good at expressing his thoughts. Like if you have this, then you are good, whether you are he or she. Okay, as the ninth house rules the law also, okay, and as Mars is the planet of mechanical and technical field, this is an excellent placement for lawyer. So if you have Mars in the ninth house, you can also incline towards becoming a lawyer. Of course, like if other things are also supportive. This is particularly so if Mars is in favorable sign or if expected by benefics. Okay, the person is likely to consider law career even if he ultimately decide against it. Even then, like if Mars is in bad sign or aspected badly, then the person can be, I can say, close-minded also. Okay, he may feel that his religion is the true one and that all others are misguided. He may be unwilling to confront, or I can say grasp, abstract thoughts, and he or she will view all the issues from either or perspective. Okay, from an either or. Okay, unless there are some favorable aspect on the ninth house from the benefics, or unless Mars is it in their own sign, rotation sign, the person will have problems and disagreement also with the gurus, with the teachers, with the elder, with the father. Okay, in some cases the person is too practical minded to appreciate tradition, religion, and he is like, what the hell, these tradition, religion, why should I have to follow? Okay, and philosophies, all this kind of stuff. The person will may not have a very good, like, because see, there is a difference of opinion with the father, so that's why there might be, I hope you understand, either the relationship is disturbed by strife and arguments, or the father is aggressive, because Mars is an aggressive planet and is sitting in the ninth house of father. So what it signifies, that father can also be aggressive. Since Mars benefit by its association with the ninth house, okay, because it is the best house, one of the best house of horoscope, the person has a strong blood and a powerful muscular system and good courage also, right? Because Mars, when sit in the ninth house, is also aspect the third house of courage. That's why my beautiful girl and my handsome boy, yes, my beautiful girl, he is driven and ambitious and becomes successful also in life. Because Mars is one of the planet of landed property, along with the Saturn of course, and gains gains his strength from the ninth house, and because Mars in the ninth house aspect the fourth house of land, the person is likely to own plenty of property and succeed in that realm also. Guys, when Mars sit in the ninth house, it also aspect the third house. Now third house can be your next born sibling, so it may also possible that your next born sibling can be aggressive, okay, and assertive, and can also be, or we can say also can also be talented in mechanical or technical field. Okay. Or sibling can also be like engage in computer technology, firefighting, police, military, or defense related work. The person has mechanical ability due to Mars aspect on the third house, that is you. Okay, now we are talking about you, not the sibling discussion was gone. There is generally a good deal of long distance traveling, but if Mars is anyway afflicted there, then of course there can be delay or some interruption in traveling, or like maybe some issues in the foreign land traveling, like unnecessary. So that can also be seen. Okay, like document maybe get delayed, this problem, that problem, then you may travel, but after some obstacles, like after putting efforts, we can say more efforts. And now guys, ninth house is one of the Trikona houses. Okay, this house is primarily show the wisdom and religion related features. A person interested in spirituality, philosophy, religion, pilgrimage, long distance traveling, meditation, charity, law, higher education, all that is seen from the ninth house. As per Bharat Parashara Horashastram, Mars in the ninth house gives, PPHS say that Mars in the ninth house gives good fortune related to home and business, government support and success. Mars in the ninth house is placed in the house of his friend Jupiter. Okay, we should also consider that because ninth house belong to that. So this placement offers somewhat better result in matters of religion. Okay, frequent long distance travels for business, higher education related purpose, if planet Jupiter is also in good condition. Okay, Mars alone in a bad sign could of course may give you some troubles also. So, okay, so that's a different thing. Now of course for that horoscope consultation is required, like aspect, conjunction and this and that, and the nakshatra also. Okay, now guys, Mars when sit in the ninth house, it aspect the third house. Now this aspect can give you some I can say differences with the siblings and the neighbor as well, but still it's good for your courage, and maybe you can have good communication, maybe a little bit aggressive, but at least you can just forcefully somehow convince other. That can also be seen sometime. Now guys, when Mars sit in the ninth house, you might have a healthy sense of adventure, and you like a good argument or the challenge, like the challenge of learning new things. This is a Sagittarius ruled position. Okay, like as per the natural Kalpurusha Kundli, ninth house has the sign of Sagittarius. Okay, so keep an eye out for a tendency to become engaged, to become enraged or offended if people disagree with you. Okay, or it's like all too easy to take disagreements personally. In your eagerness to learn the truth, you may also be a touch too aggressive. You are sexually lively and playful, and you may treat sex as a sport at the times. Okay, I'm repeating this line again. You may treat sex as a sport at times. Others find you sense of humor and direct aptitude appealing because it is honest and occasionally plain rude. Now guys, when you have Mars in the ninth house, it may also possible that your mission is to discover the truth at all cost. With Mars in the ninth house, you spend all your time, or I can say much of your time, many of your time discussing what is good, what's wrong, like expand your knowledge. No one can doubt your sincerity because you are forthright and solid in your ideas. People tend to flock to you for comfort and socialization since you attempt to be open-minded about everything. You get along with the people from various walks of life and work hard to create a diverse group of friends and colleagues, right? Your passion for education indicate that you enjoy visiting new locations and meeting interesting people, and everyone you will find something influential. Okay, in everyone you will find something influential. Mars when placed in the ninth house, it shows that your drive to add your wealth of knowledge keeps you motivated and enthusiastic and about living, and your zeal for life is contagious. According to the Mars in the ninth house, as per the astrology, when Mars is placed in the ninth house, people appreciate being around you because you can't tolerate being bored. Okay, there must always be something exciting going on. Your mind is continuously working overtime, whether it's during a heated debate or researching a new destination to visit or planning a trip somewhere fresh. You are a social butterfly after all, and you are always going to see your friends and relatives. Now guys, when Mars is placed in the ninth house, okay, so astrology also say that, like, Mars in the ninth house, astrology makes someone like Mars in the ninth house makes someone who knows true passion, but at the same time it can make person a diplomat and a well educated person in the art of weaponry. Okay, so that can also be seen. Now guys, when Mars is placed in the ninth house, it is also seen that you aspires to learn independently and wants to make your own experiences, and you want to grow through them. Like you want to just like you have your own things that, okay, I will do this and I will do that. Then you learn from your experiences and then grow through them. Okay, that's what you do, or I can say that's what your desire may be. Okay, so when you are advised by your father or teacher or someone else, so there will be definitely disagreement or difference of opinion. Okay, so like, because you are independent, you want to learn through your own thing, and people are like, no, this is not good. You're like, what the hell are you teaching to me? I would like to go there. Even if I fall down, I will just get up again and I will just learn that, okay, and grow out of it. But here's the thing, if let's say Jupiter is there with Mars, or Jupiter is somehow involved with Mars, then these things cannot be there, or this thing may not be there. Then you will be like, okay, this person is teaching me or telling me this, maybe he has faced the same problem, that's why he's just telling me. Okay, I will just keep that in mind when I will be there or when I will travel there. That can also be seen. Okay, now guys, Mars when sit in the ninth house, it also aspect 12th house by its fourth aspect, 9, 10th, 11, 12th. Okay, so when it aspect the 12th house of imagination, donation and traveling to foreign land, it signifies tremendous imagination inside you. Okay, and it can also make you street smart. Okay, you can be excellent writer, maybe a media person, maybe a salesman, and you can also be, sometime it is seen that successful in the real estate business as well. Although of course horoscope consultation is required to see the big picture. Okay, now in a nutshell, if I would like to tell something important or something good, Mars in the ninth house can make you like a person who is full of, or I can say who is filled with the sense of adventure. Okay, there may be very there may be something to discover, uncovered truth or something like that. Okay, or there may, like, you may also be very ambitious and pushy towards what you want to do at any cost. That can also be seen. Okay, so guys, this is all about Mars in the ninth house. Now we will discuss what will gonna happen when Mars is placed in the 10th house of your chart. So guys, now we will discuss what will gonna happen when Mars is placed in the 10th house of your chart. So guys, what does 10th house represent? I know that your answer is career. My career, guys, my career. Yeah, I know that. Career is the first thing that we see, like the 10th house. And like, for seeing the fame prospect, 10th house is really important actually. Although we see a lot of things, but profession we see from the 10th house, your fame, your honor, your status, government, also like, you're like the karma, like, the thing that you do in the society, all that kind of stuff we see from the 10th house, like your status. So all these things, so mainly it's like your career, we can say. We see that from the 10th house, and we can also see like the thousands of things by using the Bhavat Bhavam concept and a lot of things, but these are generally things that we see from the 10th house. So what will gonna happen when Mars is placed in the 10th house of your chart? When Mars comes to this house, it makes you earn a good amount of wealth, first things. Okay, first of all, you should understand that Mars get its directional strength in the 10th house. Mars is like, oh my god, it's amazing, finally I'm here at the 10th house. I love to be in the 10th house. So Mars get its directional strength in the 10th house. Okay, so it makes you somehow that you work, so it makes you like to put do something that you can earn good money in your life. Okay, it push you towards that. You will be hardworking, okay, and your only goal of life will be to reach the height of the profession. Okay, you would Mars when placed in the 10th house, it will make you a person who can lead the crowd. Okay, who can lead the crowd, that can be seen. However, to achieve such height, the native has to work extremely hard, because of course Mars is like, it's like a fighting spirit, it's like a warrior, like work hard, work hard. So warrior kind of a thing is there, you definitely have to work hard. Okay, but by that you can reach at the top, you can lead people. Okay, and of course you will get things, but by hard work. Okay, now due to the dominating nature of you, most of your colleague and subordinate may not like you. That can also be possible, because see, practically I would like to tell you, let's say you have some boss who is very dominating, maybe he have Mars in the 7th house, who knows, she have or he have. So like, let's say he definitely push you like, hey, do this, do that. So you guys are like, oh my god, what the hell, like, yeah, this boss is like, he's just always like, pushing us to do, please give us some break, man. So like, because he want you guys to do that, because of course he has Mars in the 10th house, he's very career oriented, he wants to reach at the top, he wants to get the promotion, he wants to become maybe the CEO of your company. That can also be seen, right, when you have Mars in the 10th house of your chart. Okay guys, right? So that can also be seen, due to which, when you have Mars in the 10th house, your colleague or maybe subordinate may not like you, because definitely you are career oriented. So that thing. At the same time, many successful politicians are seen from this house, okay, with Mars in it, for the exact reason, right, for the exact reason. Now these people tend to bring something new to the table. That can also be seen when the Mars is placed in the 10th house of your chart. Along with that, the raw energy of Mars enforces the native to have an enthusiastic and active nature. That can also be seen when Mars is placed in the 10th house of your chart. Now Mars in the 10th house. The 10th house is one of a few houses which can utilize the fiery energy of Mars to great advantage. Okay. Also Mars get Digbala in the 10th house. That I already told you, that Mars in the 10th house get directional strength. Mars in the 10th house get directional strength. That's really important. Therefore Mars and its all signification become more powerful than usual. The person will be proficient in his profession, okay, and he will enjoy great success and achievement in his life. This person is highly ambitious and successful. This person is attracted to computer work or any mechanical technical field also. Okay, you might be good at engineering, drafting, accounting. You, although for that, look, of course we have to see other thing as well, but still, like, I'm just trying to discuss some things. If Mars is there in the 10th house, these things can also be possible. You might also succeed in military related work, police, defense, firefighting, sports. Like Mars in the 10th house can also make you some sportsman also, right? If the 9th house and Jupiter are strong, if the 9th house and the Jupiter are strong, then it can make you a lawyer also. Okay, because Jupiter and Mars are really important for lawyer. Okay, if the person is involved in healing profession, he uses needles. Okay, let's say you are in some healing profession, so you can be maybe like, what you call that, acupuncture or something like that. So it may also possible that you can be there. Now see, Mars in the 10th house give all these things. Now how we see other thing, like, let's say in healing, then maybe 6th house is there. Okay, let's say if sports, maybe 5th house involvement is, and the 6th house is also seen for the competition. So that's how, when you, like, for detailed things, full horoscope consultation is required. Links are given in the description, but still, like, these things are there. Hindu scriptures state that when you have Mars in the 10th house, then the person will lie also sometime. Okay, and that's what politics is all about. Right? Be two-faced. Okay, be two-faced person. Mars in the 10th house can also possible. Or when Mars is placed in the 10th house, then the person can also be very aggressive, and you can have an intense desire to achieve your goal. Therefore you may behave like a politician, feeling that and justifies the means. You may say whatever you feel necessary to achieve your goals. Okay, so you may manipulate things as well, like, you think, okay, if I can lie here, I can do that thing, so let's lie. It's not a big deal, guys. So that can be possible for you. There is always a tendency to take advantage of other people. When you are Mars in the 10th house, you will not, you are like, okay, let's just take advantage of this people and I can get the promotion. So you will take the advantage when you are Mars in the 10th house. It is also seen. For the same reason, the person is highly respectful and powerful in the society, right? Because if you do that and you have such a desire, like by hook or by crook, I have to reach at the top, definitely you will reach it. Although the other thing work as well, like on the karmic level, but still, at least on this plane, you can achieve things. You also perform good deeds for your community. Sometime it is also seen. For that, of course, like how good planets are aspecting and this and that we have to see, but still. The relationship with the mother is disturbed. Why? Because Mars, when sit in the 10th house, it aspect the 4th house of mother, homeland. So that can also be seen. Now, guys, it is also seen that when Mars is placed in the 10th house, it also aspect the 4th house of heart. So sometime, it can also give you maybe heartbreak in your some relationship. That can be seen sometimes. Or maybe if negatively working, then maybe some problems as well. Now, for that, full horoscope consultation is required to see the big picture, but still some things can be there. Now, guys, 10th house in astrology is known as the house of action, profession, promotion. This is perhaps the most powerful Kendra house, as a man is identified by his karma only. His karma makes him grow, popularity you get your popularity through karma and fame, and moreover provide the means of livelihood. Okay, it also talks about our social status in the society, how much society value you as an individual. It is one of the Upachya houses, 3, 6, 10, 11, represent the growth, advancement with the time. It's grow better with the time. This is the best place for action, and malefic planet like Mars and Saturn are the best suited here, where it put all its brilliant energy in the single goal of achieving the success. Okay, that's the most important thing. Mars in the 10th house create a fearless, hardworking, sincere individual who loves pushing others at workplace, right? And may not be liked by subordinate and co-workers, because you are like, by hook or by crook, I will get this promotion. I will just kick you out and I will get my name somehow recommended there, so that I will get the promotion, and they will get it because their planets are supporting. If Mercury joins the Mars, then the native could be skilled scientists also, or technician, or maybe software or hardware developer. Software developer can also be seen, hardware developer can be seen. If Saturn joins Mars, also similar roles is possible with politician. Okay, added to the list. If Jupiter is with the Mars, then native could become maybe a mayor, a governor, chief minister also sometime. Okay, because Jupiter is authority and Mars is also leadership. So Jupiter is like those how can I tell you, like the higher authority is Jupiter. With Venus along with the Mars in the 10th house. Okay, with Venus along with the Mars in the 10th house, the native could also become a successful trade in the foreign lands. Yeah, successful trade in the foreign lands. Mars with Rahu in the 10th house make the native an actor, a politician also. Okay, Mars with Ketu maybe push you towards a spirituality related career. Okay, Mars in the 4th house, of course, may create friction with the mother. Okay, native needs to be careful while dealing in the real estate also. Native may leave the comfort of his homeland and join maybe army, etc. And sometime if, let's say, 4th house also have some malefics, or like other malefics are also aspecting the 4th house and 4th lord is not well placed, then these guys may also wants to settle into foreign lands, because 4th house is like, if damage. For that, of course, full horoscope consultation is required. Links are given in the description. Okay, now Mars when sit in the 10th house, 10th, 11th, 12th, 1st, it also aspect the 1st house. Okay, the aspect on the 1st house, Mars, 4th aspect is on 1st house. It provide energy and aggression, which will again be added on to your to you at your workplace. Guys, when you have Mars in the 10th house, it might make you a task oriented person, and you performs best within any charge of your schedule. In your partnership, you may frequently organize activities. Mars in the 10th house might make you ambitious, competitive, motivated. You flourish in job where you can lead, or you have some freedom or independent. I'm repeating this line again. This is really important. When you have Mars in the 10th house, you can flourish in job where you can have freedom, or you are a leader, or you can work independently. You are a go-getter. You must also be active and dominant in your field. You can make ripples in your life if you are more interested in achieving your goals than obtaining favors from others. Okay, this is really important what I said last. Okay, Mars when placed in the 10th house, then you are one of the more serious people you know. You are one of the more serious people you know. With a strong focus on your profession and image, you put in a lot of efforts to enhance your career. Your attention is concentrated on constantly on climbing the corporate ladder with the Mars in the 10th house. I'm telling you again. Like your goal is to somehow, by hook or crook, I want to reach the top. I don't care what the hell people think. So that's the thing for you. Reaching at the top is important. It is the success that motivates you. Okay, it's really an important line what I said. It is the success that motivates you. You are good at your profession, but you have a hard time functioning into a group unless you are a leader. Okay, because if you are a leader, then you are like, okay, I'm saying something, others may not able to oppose you. But if you are not a leader, then things can be different and you might not like that. Unless you are starting a new job and you know you will have to work your way up, and you don't want to be anywhere else, then of course things can be different. It is difficult to cooperate with others when you are so focused and getting ahead. You constantly believe you know best since you are diligent, right? When it comes to devising on a strategy, okay, you take your time and move things along slowly but steadily until the project is completed to your satisfaction. That can also be seen when Mars is placed in the 10th house of your chart, my beautiful girls and my handsome boys. Mars when placed in the 10th house of your chart, so those who get to know the Mars in the 10th house personality and your family will notice that your ambition is the most rewarding aspect of your personality. I'm repeating again, your ambition is the most rewarding aspect of your personality. You employ it in all aspects of your life, including your personal life as well. Okay, you tend to live a lifestyle that reflect your accomplishment. You have sizable saving account that you would like to share with someone. You have a strong desire to start a family, which is why you have invested so much time and effort into your profession from the start. You have a strong desire to start a family, which is why you have invested so much time and effort into your profession from the start. You want to provide a secure atmosphere for yourself and your family at this home. Okay, so now you understand what's the reason. This is also why you postpone starting a relationship until you are financially stable, okay, to support others. So you may also see that when Mars is there in the 10th house, these guys focus so much on their career. So in their early life, they're like, oh my God, I shouldn't have to invest the time in the relationship. Okay, till the time I become financially stable so that I can support other, till the time I will not. But I think personally, I believe that, relationships are really important. If you can start early, if you're lucky enough to get it, you should start it. And then gradually you guys both can grow together. You support each other in the bad times. So that's really important. But still, when you have Mars in the 10th house, it gives you a tendency that you are like, oh my God, I can't start early. I have to be financially independent. That can also be seen. You value loyalty above anything else in your personal life as well as in your professional life. You are looking for a long-term relationship and rarely engage in flings. You are willing to give the same level of devotion in the return, right? While you may not be, I can say, spontaneous or humorous, you are responsible and dependable, and you will go to great length to defend your loved ones. Mars in the 10th house is one planetary position that exceed any other exaltation planetary point, or planetary exaltation point I can say. If Mars is in the 10th house while other planets are weak, native will still achieve a tremendous amount of success in all aspect of the life. Why? Like, because the desire to succeed is so great. When you have so great desire to succeed, you are like, oh my god, no matter how much good or bad situation will be, I will, like, work hard. This position make the best business partners, and the native can succeed in any field. Okay, law, politics, art, media, medical profession, business. Okay, that can also be seen. Mars here in the 10th house is a figure of willpower and is an action oriented planet. Mars is the representative of action, energy, fitness, selfishness, aggression, leadership and competition also. Okay. Mars when placed in the 10th house, it is also seen that it might make you a person who can be involved in sports, physical activity such as volleyball, basketball, cricket, football, rugby or anything like that. Maybe playing golf, okay, maybe badminton, maybe tennis, right? Also it may also seen sometime, in fact I would like to tell you an observation. When Mars is placed in the 10th house, you may also see some famous martial artist, okay, some famous maybe fighter, martial artist, MMA fighter maybe, so you can also see that. When you have Mars in the 10th house, so you might have tremendous willpower which will help you to fight anything, any situation, okay, including even if you have some disease, then it might help you, like it might give you courage, like okay, I can just defeat this disease as well. Okay, so that can also be seen. Now guys, of course the full horoscope consultation is required to see the big picture, but in nutshell, when Mars is placed in the 10th house, then person is definitely very career oriented person, can be expected, and like they might also easily thrive and flourish in their career. Not easily, actually they have to put effort, but because Mars is there, so definitely they somehow naturally get that courage, like I have to do it, I have to do it, so they will do it. Okay, and definitely they do whatever is like they have to do for their career, and they can also be very, I can say, active person in their personal and professional life as well when Mars is placed in the 10th house of your chart. So guys, this is all about Mars in the 10th house. If you want personal consultation, my beautiful girl, then come to my website, and my handsome boy also. Links are given in the description. And so guys, now we will discuss what will gonna happen when Mars is placed in the 11th house of your chart. Yeah, first of all, what does 11th house represent? 11th house relate to your major goals, your desires, your ambitions, okay, lifelong desires, your friends, your network circle, huge organizations, like your elder sibling, your profits, your incoming gains we see from the 11th house, okay, and a lot of other things we can also see from the 11th house, especially your elder siblings can also be seen from the 11th house. Okay, it is also important house for money. Okay, Mars when placed in this 11th house, Mars in this house assures one's effort towards earning an income or livelihood for self and the family. Okay, so this is like an important position for Mars. This house is very strong indicator of sudden income, okay, through lotteries, sudden wealth, profits, prosperity, okay. So when Mars is placed in this 11th house, it make you a very competitive person in terms of money making and desire fulfillment. It's really important for you now because your energy is going here, okay, and it make you very competitive in those sense. When it come to competition, if you have Mars in the 11th house, you may go to an extreme level to achieve the targets. Definitely you will go to extreme to achieve your desires, your targets, your goal, whatever you want to. Okay guys, when you have Mars in the 11th house, with Mars in the 11th house, you likes to plan events and activities and occasionally take the lead. However, you are an excellent rear buddy who is always ready to pitch and helps when needed. because you need your head engaged to the to be passionate. You can appear aloof or indifferent in close personal connection. On the other hand, you are not afraid to stand out or follow a different drummer. You probably like working for a good cause and can be a quiet uh, crusader. Okay, that can also be seen. You may be drawn to the people who are intense, passionate, or energetic person. And guys, when Mars is placed in the 11th house, you have a distinct sense of right and wrong. Also guys, you try to correct what you see as injustice. You can use people talent to form a team to address these injustice with Mars in the 11th house, because 11th house is also making big committees, and all these kind of stuff is really you see some big organization, etc. For that also 11th house is important. Your humanitarian endeavors are driven by your capacity to bring people together. Okay, that is also important. You can devote all of your efforts resolving humanity's issue. That can be seen. You are always looking at the broad picture, identifying the problem that need to be solved and studying the most effective solutions. Your most important weapon is knowledge, and you know how to utilize it for your advantage. You are constantly expanding your knowledge base and just putting forth significant effort to raise the educational levels of others also. Okay, Mars guys, when sit in the 11th house, according to the Mars place in the 11th house astrology, say that your dreams and objectives are bound up in other people's wants and requirement. Therefore, you are continually collaborating with others to figure out what will satisfy both parties. Okay, you are a better researcher when you are your own. However, because you have complicated system for acquiring information, you prefer to collaborate with others working on the same issue. This is most important reliable method that you have discovered for determining whether something work or not. You can also think outside of the box when you have Mars in the 11th house. People frequently regard you as eccentric and they don't always get your tactics, but you are aware that there's method, but you are aware that there is a method to your craziness, and it typically works. At times you appear disorganized or scattered also. Now guys, astrology also say that Mars when placed in the 11th house, it becomes dhan karka. Okay, dhan, not dhara karka, it's dhan karka, which is dhan means wealth, like important planet for wealth in normal language, in layman's language I can say. Okay, astrology text, or I can say research also say that native will have smart enough, or I can say native will be smart enough who have Mars in the 11th house to earn a lot of money. Okay, because see, Mars is like your energy. When 11th house is taking this energy, then definitely your energy will go towards making money. And native, that means you may acquire many properties also. Mars is property, land, and it is sitting in the 11th house of gains. Okay, native may be very popular among friend and social circle. That can also be seen when you have Mars in the 11th house. Now of course full horoscope consultation is required to see the big picture. Links are given in the description, but still these things can be there. Community builder and center of social network of fan or folks who share a common interest of the things, and all these people like the friend, social circle, social network, you will become very popular among them when you have Mars in the 11th house. You will be ambitious also when you have Mars in the 11th house. Okay guys, when Mars is placed in the 11th house, it is also seen that it might make you a bit aggressive in style also. Okay, you have very good connections in the networks of the marketplace. People, when you have Mars in the 11th house, native may be, or I can say you may be a bit aggressive in style, and you may be very good, you may be you may have very good connections in the network of the marketplace. But here's the thing, you might be dominating in group association. Your behavior is very competitive, like you can say it's my way or highway style. So that kind of behavior can also be seen when Mars is placed in the 11th house, very dominating. Now guys, Mars when sit in the 11th house, 11, 12, 1, 2, it also aspect the second house by its fourth aspect. Okay, So so guys, here it may also possible that you will make money, but you can also spend money aggressively. Okay, or like of course for that full horoscope consultation is required, if other planets, how other planets are placed, where second lord is. But still it is seen that due to this aspect it may also possible that you may spend also. But of course spending is good, we have to enjoy our life also if we are making money. But here's the thing, if you just spend unnecessarily, without thinking, and like you also have to little bit like save money, have a proper planning, that is really important. Okay, so when you have Mars in the 11th house, you are making money, that's good, but also think about saving. That's what my advice is over here. Now guys, also Mars aspecting the second house can give you aggressive speech related problems. So if you have any problem, like you speak like people, like when you speak you may speak very harshly or something like that can also be seen. So please try to control that. Okay, that's what I can say. Try to add more like a softness in your voice, that's what I can say. Now guys, Mars when sitting in the 11th house, it also aspect the 5th house by its 7th aspect. So aspect on the 5th house make you a very flirty and romantic person. You could have many relationship also. Okay, if Venus or Rahu are like placed in the 5th house or somehow making relations, so there is every possibility that you may go for love marriage. Okay, that can also be possible. Or it may, or maybe in some cases you just marry someone and go away to another place, that can also be possible. It gives some competitive relationship with the children's, that can also be seen. Or like you might have some difference of opinion with your children when they just grow up. However, children are very energetic and maybe athletic like, that can also be seen when you have Mars in the 11th house, because it affects to 5th house. So all these things can also be seen. Now guys, Mars when sit in the 11th house, it also aspect the 6th house by its 8th aspect. Okay, so 6th house result can be mixed. On one hand it will give you fighting abilities, okay, like the fight from your enemies, debt, diseases and all these kind of problems. Now on the other hand there could also be some problems, but for that full horoscope consultation is required to see the big picture. But definitely by aspecting the 6th house in a positive way, it can give you strength to fight against your enemy, to fight against your diseases and all the problem in life. Mars in the 11th house is significant in bringing and expanding gains in your life. Okay, it focuses on goal setting and achieving its own goals without the support of any other planets or placement. That is the best thing about Mars. Okay, when you have Mars in the 11th house, you may be focused on achieving your goals, and especially let's say Mars Mahadasha or Antardasha is going, then in that case you will definitely notice that suddenly you have a very high motivation, high energy to achieve whatever you want to achieve. Mars in the 11th house is an excellent planetary position for native to work in social organization or maybe field or maybe politics. Okay, because it also requires large circle of networks, that can also be seen. Okay, so in that way it is really a like all these things, Mars in the 11th house make it as a very feasible placement for the leadership roles. When you have Mars in the 11th house, you will be very competitive with your elder sibling also. So sometime it is also seen, of course, whether you have whether you speak in a harsh manner with your elder sibling, or your elder sibling could be very it speak with you in a harsh manner or can be competitive with you. That can also be seen sometime. Okay, now when you have Mars in the 11th house, you will have harshness in your speech, which will force people to listen to you, okay, and follow your order. So making you a maybe good, making you like a army general or manager or something like that can also be seen. Although guys, see, sometime if it work in a negative way, so it is always a good idea to add some softness in your speech, because no matter how much harsh it is for other people, you are thinking that, oh, I am commanding them, but at some point of time people are like, oh my god, this is he behaved in a very bad way. So you have to be become intelligent as well. Yes, you can use in a very dominating way speech, but use your brain also. Always make sure that when you are saying something, how other people is feeling. Okay, although definitely Mars in the 11th house give you talent to control crowd, okay, even by speaking, because when it's respect to the second house, it make you a very dominating kind of a speech, but still you have to be careful, like not to use bad harsh word. Okay, now guys, see, Mars in place in the 11th house. 11th house is apache houses. You know that 11th house is apache house. Okay, so apache houses are 3, 6, 10, 11. These are the houses that grow better with the time. Okay, so as soon as you become older, like the function of Mars here will improve. So it will start to give you more money. That can also be seen if it's working in a positive way. Although it is also said that all the planets in the 11th house give good result, but still full horoscope consultation is required to see the big picture. Okay, so when like with the time you meet like plenty of opportunities in your life you will get, and like you will definitely work to achieve your goals and desires, unless the rest of the chart is weak, of course, or like the Mars, let's say, is afflicted, then the things can be different. But if, like, let's say it's good place or other support is also there, then you can have powerful friends also who are assertive and aggressive, and who may be involved in military or maybe sports or maybe mechanical or technical fields such as computer technology. They may, however, be occasional, maybe. Now guys, of course, if let's say Mars is afflicted, so there may be sometime problems or some fights, etc. with some friends can also be seen. Even though guys, malefics in the Upacha houses are considered to be good. Okay, because 11th house is also Upacha house, and Mars here considered to be good. But still, no, like, see, if some placement is good for somewhere, so it doesn't mean that everywhere is good. Sometimes it can also give negative, and if some placement is negative, so it doesn't mean that it's only negative. It will give you something positive. So it might be good for money, but maybe sometime it will give you, with the friendship, maybe a little bit of I hope you understand, like arguing with the maybe elder sibling or maybe the friend, that can also be seen. Okay, but although it's really good for money, etc. Okay, in terms of money, if it's well placed, then of course it's good. Okay guys, so guys, Mars, 11th house is the house of network circle, how in indicating all kind of profits and fortune also. Although 9th house is the house of fortune, but still, like, 11th house is also important for profit, etc. and like the network circle. So this is like important house regarding your aspirations and wishes, like which you want them to become true. So guys, this is all about Mars in the 11th house. I hope this video helped. If you want personal consultation, links are given in the description. Now we will see Mars in the 12th house. Guys, we will see what will gonna happen when Mars is placed in the 12th house of your chart. First of all, what does 12th house represent? 12th house represent enlightenment, higher consciousness, final liberation. Okay, it's the expenditure, debt, enemy, waste, misfortune, and also it can represent maybe jail warden, asylums. But in today's world it can also be a good thing, because most important is the house of foreign lands. Okay, so for foreign land, 12th house is important. It is the house of sex, sexual pleasures, bad pleasures is for them. 12th house is also important. Okay, it can also represent hospital, etc. And but mainly 12th house is also play an important role in today's world, although it always play like important role, but in today's world still, because see, now going to foreign land is like fun. In the older time when astrology was created, going away from the homeland was not considered to be good, because there was no WhatsApp, there was no video calling, there was no calling. In fact, you don't even know that once you move away to foreign land, you don't know whether you can reach properly, because they have to go by ship or something like that, whether you just come back or not. You don't know the language, you don't know the people, you don't know about the food, you don't know about anything. And even if you know, then you have you don't know when you just come back, and till the time you come back, you don't know how will be your family and all the people are. So people generally don't consider it to be a good house. But in today's world, you can just work at the same time, put your laptop or a camera or smartphone on, and do a WhatsApp video call and talk to your parents, even if you are living in any foreign land. So that's how the things are different nowadays. Now it's luxurious thing, like you're just living in a good country, at the same time you're talking to your parents or having interaction with them as well. Nowadays you can even move to any country within 24 hours mostly, so that's the thing. Now guys, Mars when placed here in the 12th house, planet like Mars, so what will happen, we will discuss that. Now guys, when Mars is placed in the 12th house, so it may possible that like you might have some aggressive emotions. Okay, also Mars in the 12th house, people may be like may remain reserved, that can also be seen somehow. uh, on the other hand, if let's say some like Mars is placed favorably or some like in a good placement, it can provide you with frequent like foreign travels. Okay, and it is also seen that when Mars is placed in the 12th house, it like you may settle abroad. Or one thing is also seen that Mars when placed in the 12th house, so some of your maybe your elder brother, maybe your younger brother, or someone you know, like maybe someone which is very close to you, may settle abroad in foreign land. Okay, in your family someone can settle abroad. It is also a strong indication of that when you have Mars in the 12th house. Okay, and I have seen that quite a few times. When you have Mars in the 12th house, someone you know, whether you are able to settle or not, but someone you know very close to you may settle down in the foreign lands. Okay, it takes time and experience to learn to work with rather than against this force. Avoid feeling defeated before giving someone a real shot. When you have Mars in the 12th house, I am talking some important things. You are a very resourceful person who can solve problems creatively. However, you lack the confidence and the motivation to put yourself and like your interest, I can say, first. Positively, you can work more for the others than yourself. If you reject your desires and need too much, okay, if you reject your desires and need too much, you may become engaged. Okay, that can also be possible. You are a bit of, I can say, incurable romantic. Your fantasy world is rich and valuable to you. You contribute imagination to your sexual encounters. Mars when placed in the 12th house, it is being a sensitive placement as you are. Okay, and is often conflicted about expressing emotions because you have a trouble coping with your problem. You frequently devote your attention to assist others. Okay, because being useful provide you a sense of worth. Okay, that's really important line. Being useful provide you a sense of worth. Okay, you should concentrate on it. While Mars is a more aggressive planet, self-doubt is the primary motivator for you. You are not the most self-assured individual because you are a dreamer rather than like a doer. Okay, rather than taking care of your obligations, you prefer to assist others. Okay, it gives you the feeling that you are making difference without putting your own life at risk. Mars influence in the 12th house is more passion aggressive. You strive to get things done behind the scenes so you don't have to deal with the fallout if something goes wrong. The lack of self assurance can lead you to like some problem also sometime. Okay, so you have to be careful for that. Some individual can see right through it and try to exploit you. That can also be possible, guys, so you have to be careful, because I'm just trying to tell you some like it's like advice for you. Okay, I'm not trying to just make you feel bad, but I'm just trying to give you some advices here that can be helpful for you. People tend to walk all over you because you are so kind hearted and kind, so you have to be careful for that as well. However, guys, it is also seen that person born with Mars in the 12th house, they also have some unrevealed intuition. Okay, that can also be seen, so you might also have that. So you are pretty helpful to individual who are looking for advice. You offer a sympathetic ear and can empathize with anyone's circumstances. Okay, you put efforts in their shoes and offer them to help with their problem. You get along with people from various walk of life. Okay, and have a vast social circle because you are open-minded person. Your capacity to articulate yourself in something you can always use to your advantage. You may have trouble in completing a task. You on the other hand have no problem explaining what to be done. You have lofty ambition and fantastical aspiration when you have Mars in the 12th house. All you need is a little assistance to realize them. Okay, you have a lofty ambition and fantastical aspirations. All you need to know is realize them. Your degree of inventiveness and enthusiasm inspire others. Okay, they frequently want to join you in this lonely landscape you have created. Tell them what you want to achieve and they will help you find out how to get there. 12th house also represent hidden talents, isolation, spirituality, feet, intimacy, sexual pleasures. Okay, now guys, of course, full horoscope consultation is required to see the big picture. For that full horoscope, for that links are given in the description. Mars in the 12th house is a lost of subconscious mind and explore different things like spirituality, education, culture. Okay, for peace of your disturbed state of mind, you may like to experience these things. Although this native will be unable to choose any one path for like himself, we can also say that 12th house represent isolations, which signify either you will be you can also work in some asylum or maybe a jail warden or something like that, like the jailer, the police officer in the jails can also be seen by this if other things are working good. Although guys, see, it doesn't mean that it's everything a negative, because I have even seen Mars in the 12th house, well placed in the 12th house, and that person is a very good government officer. Okay, and he was working in a financial institution, a very good officer, and he's earning good money as well, and he is completely normal. But because Mars is working good for his chart, so it is giving him good sexual desires, so like sexually he is active. So that's why, but of course, like I am telling you, full horoscope consultation is required to see the big picture, but still these things suddenly, at least some of them still be there. Okay, now Mars in the 12th house, it's a house of dream, imagination, pleasure, which show the involvement of the native in sexual behavior activities where he exerts his energy or she exerts her energy. The native with Mars in the 12th house will have a constantly travel to foreign land, or maybe it may be possible that you might have to work away from your homeland, especially in the dasha or antar dasha of Mars. You have to, like, maybe you are working in a job, then you might have transfer, etc. That can also be seen. Mars in the 12th house also show isolation from the physical world, so that's why it may be possible that you may be studying or doing some job in research or technical field or scientist or something like that, so you may move abroad to foreign lands. That can also be possible. You might also have very good ideas, creative, imaginative ideas, so you may also become some famous like writer, creative writer. But of course, for that, other combination must also be there which make you writer. Only having intuitive imagination doesn't work out. Other thing also require. Now guys, Mars when sit in the 12th house, it also aspect your 7th house, okay, of marriage, etc., which also show that your spouse will also be a bit competitive for you. I'm telling you. Now see, depending upon what your 7th lord is, Dhara Karka is, other placements, how planets are there in the 7th which are aspecting your spouse, can be good. But because Mars is aspecting the 7th house, so it may like the pretty high chances that like he or she may be little bit like how can I tell you, like maybe authority is there. Maybe they try to stand in front of you. They are not like, oh okay, you said this, I will do this, you said that, I will do this. No, they can, if they think that it's right, so they can stand in front of you. So some kind of energy is there. Okay, in some case it may also possible if somehow some combination are making that maybe partner could be also sexual, may also have a strong sex drive, that can also be seen like you. Okay, so a lot of things can be seen. For that, full horoscope consultation is required to see the big picture. See, Mars because placed in the 12th house, and 12th house also show your foot, although for that Pisces sign should also be seen, but still I'm talking about 12th house can also see your feet. So it may also possible if let's say Mars is bad placed here, so I have also seen that some people have allergies on their legs, on their feet especially. Okay, they have some allergy. It's not like big thing, but still like maybe little bit of allergy or something like that can also be seen. Now guys, Mars when sit in the 12th house, it also aspect 12, 1, 2, 3, third house and the 6th house by its 4th and 7th aspect. So it may also possible in your day-to-day work There may be involvement of mechanical things, maybe technology, maybe computer, that can also be seen. Now guys, of course, Mars in the 12th house is also like the manglik dosha position, where it is advised that if you have Mars in the 12th house, so you should marry someone who is manglik, which means that you should marry someone whose Mars is also in 12th house, first house, 4th house, 7th house, 8th house, like any of these houses. If other person Mars is there and you marry that person, then it's really a good for you. Okay, because in Indian culture, or like I can say as per astrology, it is said that if you have this position of Mars in the 12th house, it is also manglik. So you should in this case, once you do matchmaking along with other thing, it must also match that other person must also be manglik, so that if you both are manglik, you and your partner, then this manglik dosha will cancel out. Okay, and it's really good for like having good married life. But let's say you are from Western country or any culture where you, or anyone like you just fall in love with someone who is not manglik and you are manglik. So in that case, what you can do, in that case it is simple. The good strategy is that you just try to delay your marriage at least till early 30s. Okay, once you turn 30 or maybe 31, 32, then just try to do your marriage then. Till then just be in relationship, maybe you can live in relationship, and once you turn like maybe 30 or 31, then you can like do the legal binding, or I can say the spiritual or religious ceremony of marriage, and then you can, okay, now we are married. But it's always a good idea to do like the legal as well as the religious ceremony, spiritual ceremony, once you are in early 30s, when you have manglik and the other person is not manglik. But of course, if you both are manglik and you fall in love with someone, then you are lucky. If chart is matching and you both are manglik, then it's really a great strategy, because in that case the affliction is gone, it's cancel out with each other. Okay, so guys, this is all about Mars in the 12th house. I hope this video helps, and if you want personal consultation, links are given in the description, and I will catch you in the next video. Till then, bye bye my beautiful girl and my handsome boys. Bye bye.